Hi-yo, Lisserinos. This is the Jock and Nerd, episode 95. Thanks for joining us. We got your weeks full of geek news and comic book TV reviews on this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Friday, April 22nd, 2016.
It's the Jock and Nerd Podcast with your hosts, Anthony and Imran.
Jock and Nerd. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is the Jock and Nerd Podcast. My name is Imran.
And my name is Anthony.
He's the jock?
Well, not really.
No. And I'm the nerd, and this is the Jock and Nerd Podcast. But yet again, we have an absent jock for the second week in the row. That's the Rug Boy. What's up, Rugs? Thanks.
Does he have jock itch this time, or does he have strep penis? What does he have? Athlete's penis? What does he got?
Look, last week, the jock had the strep. Supposedly the strep. I was suspicious. This week, I want to play a little game, Rugs. Let's play Guess Where the Jock Is, because it's hilarious. Guess where Anthony is. We're live on Blab, and Tony in the chat, another Tony, has a great answer. Rugs, what's your guess? Give me a guess.
I'm thinking that he went to some kind of a dance shirtless place where he could dance with his tits out.
Oh, you're kind of close. Listermate in the chat says Anthony got so sick last week that he went to the emergency room and hooked up with a hot nurse, and now he's on his honeymoon. That's Geek boner. That's not a bad one. Not correct. Cosmo Fox says Zika virus? Question mark. That's,
no. Anthony Zika.
Anthony. Jordan of the Pie says he's getting laid. Well, I don't know about right now, but it's possible because right now the jock is at a Justin Bieber concert. Oh, shit. Figure that one out, guys. Look, he got free tickets in his defense. He's at a Justin Bieber concert. Rug Boy, comment?
I have nothing to say. I really don't know what to say to that. A grown man in his almost 30s is going to, I mean, look, I understand you go where all the chicks are. Right. All right? If you're Anthony,
yes.
If you're a shark, you go where the fish are at. Okay. You got to go hunting in a place full of chicks.
If Anthony's listening to this, you had Rug Boy speechless. I thought the screen was frozen, but Rug Boy was actually speechless with that
lame
news of, I hope he's having a good time. But look, who goes to a Justin Bieber concert?
He shouldn't be allowed back on the show, I think. No?
I think I should.
I mean, look, okay, this is the thing. He's got to come back. If he listens to this, listen, dude, I want to see pictures of girls' boobs on your phone, like exposed boobs. Like you have to make it. You have to somehow make it not like weird that you're there. Like you have to. I want to see that you went there to hunt.
I'll have to text him that right now because I don't know when he's going to hear this. But I agree. Make it worthwhile. Bring us back something we can talk about now. Look, thanks for everyone, regular listeners, checking us out. Everyone in the Blab checking this out. If you're new to the show, this is what's going to go down. We're going to go over the week's geek news, and we're going to review this week's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Supergirl, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Fear the Walking Dead. Rugs, did you watch that last one this week?
What, Fear the Walking Dead?
Yeah.
I told you I wasn't going to watch it, so I'm not watching.
I knew it. I fear the non-watching Rug Boy. All right, we'll deal with that.
Was it good?
Look, stuff happened. When we get to it,
Okay.
Lots of stuff happened. And we're live on Blab. We do this every week, which means I will be reading your guys' comments. You guys can interact with us, drop us questions, funny lines, make us laugh. It's almost distracting while trying to do a show, but I'm going to do my best. And that means, listener, you can always check us out and interact with us live. Just visit jockandnerd.com/live. All you need is a Twitter account. You can check out our replays and see when the next show is. It's lots of fun, and you get to see the Rug Boy.
Yes, that's what you need to do. If you want to see me in all of my glory, all of the opposite of Justin Bieber-like glory, you tune in.
Rugs, our Twitter friend David Mobile's here.
Say hi. Dave.
Yeah, what's up, D? Look, before we get to any of that, we have to pay our respects to a huge musical genius that we lost. So first of all, 2016 has been a shitty year for if you're famous, because they've been dropping like flies.
Yeah.
And the man, the myth, the purple man himself, the original Purple Man, Prince Rogers Nelson, passed away earlier this week at 57. And dude, this one was really big for me. I mean, I feel like everyone has Prince stories. His music spans like 4 generations. Ruggs, what's your connection to Prince? You a Prince fan?
Well, let me ask you this, and you can answer it honestly, Imran. Don't lie.
I will.
Okay?
I'm gonna try to be okay. Go.
When's the most recent time that you've actually followed Prince?
Look, I saw him a couple of years ago. I saw him
a couple of years ago.
When he came to Rosemont at Allstate Arena. But even then, that was like maybe over 7 years ago. The man was still making records. Now, do you think he was just not relevant anymore? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I don't think that he was irrelevant. I think that what happened to him, see, I happen to love Prince.
Yes.
Now, I don't know a lot of Prince songs, actually.
Okay. Right.
Every time I've ever seen him, I've been impressed by him. But I feel like that, number one, like other than the hits, I feel like his music's not that accessible to me in some ways. Okay.
Yeah.
Just listening wise, but then physically inaccessible because he took his music off everything.
Well, that was kind of the strange thing is if you try to Google or YouTube search for Prince music, you can't find it. People, with he fought with Warner Brothers. He was really into control of his music and he pulled it down from everywhere. It's actually on Tidal right now. This could be a big boon for Tidal.
Yeah.
And you can also
find the only place that has it.
Yeah.
But like, that's the thing. Like I listen to Pandora, I listen to Spotify and all that shit. And I have all these things and it's just hard to get Prince to come across your dial sometimes. Even on satellite radio, you don't get a lot of Prince like played a lot. I was listening to the 80s on Sirius.
Yeah.
And they just out of nowhere started playing Prince because he died. But
Channel 50 now on the Sirius is like all Prince all the time. Look, you gotta go find the music. That what you said, the hits are great. He has a great 3 CD collection called The Hits. It's 2 CDs of hits and 1 CD is all like B-sides and rare cuts. It's really good, but there's a lot of ways to find cool Prince stuff. The man blurred the lines between musical genres. The man blurred the line between gender. The man blurred the line with sexuality. How much sex was had while listening to Prince? How many people got laid listening to Prince? That alone is amazing. I mean, that's his.
He's got baby making music.
There's so many Prince babies out there. David Moby says, "What are CDs again?" Look, find it on iTunes.
Nuts!
But look, I want to share a couple of my favorite Prince things. One is the combination of Jack Nicholson's Joker and Prince in Batman, the 1989 soundtrack was awesome. It was just perfect. That soundtrack means a lot to me because like that was the summer Batman came out. I had went to Leeds for the summer. Like I was living with my cousins. They turned me on to a lot of Prince, like really good stuff. But I think this Batman soundtrack got him a lot of exposure.
Now, let me ask you this, Imran.
Yeah.
Okay. I can name about somewhere in the vicinity of 15 Prince songs.
Okay. Yeah.
So what do you think is something that's off the beaten path that people should listen to that you think have been overlooked in your opinion?
The Sign of the Times album is unbelievable. That's really
old though, right?
That's really old. I'm talking about old. Yeah, I prefer his old stuff. And this guy was a master of funk, dude. This guy would channel Jimi Hendrix, James Brown, and P-Funk, George Clinton all at once, and just blend genres. Let me tell you what I got here. This is really cool. There's a great internet radio show called We Funk out of Montreal. They do classic funk, hip hop. It's streaming radio. They have a show, and this has been out for a while. It's show number 527. I'll put a link in the show notes, jockandnerd.com/95. Click on the show. It's 2 hours of deep cuts of funk Prince, really good funky Prince that you have not heard. And in between, there's a guy who knows Prince, who's worked with him, and he gives you little bits and pieces about his career. And it's a retrospective that goes in chronological order. You hear the music, you learn about him. We Funk is an awesome radio station. I listened to that whole 2 hour show that day. I found it. It's really good. And that's where you're going to find the gems. And that's where it's also going to point you to places to find other stuff that you may not have known about.
Cool.
Yeah. Definitely pick that up. If you're into internet radio, the Jock and Nerd podcast is on geekliferadio.com every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central live. So check that out.
That's awesome. We're on like a radio network.
Yeah, it's like it's all that one is all Geek Radio. They talk about everything from movies, TVs to pro wrestling to technology.
Do you think we're gonna pick up new fans?
I think. Hey, if you're listening to us right now on Geek Life Radio, you get one of these and one of these. Let us know. Tweet us at Jock and Nerdcast if you found us on Geek Life Radio. But it's great. You can leave the stream running. But if you want like awesome funk and hip hop, definitely check out We Funk. One last bit that I thought was funny, considering the fact that the Jock is at a Justin Bieber concert. Bieber's a little bitch, a little bit. I'm just gonna say that right now. There was somebody tweeted, Andrew 50 Watt tweeted a whole thing when Prince died, saying he was devastated. The last of the greatest living performers, my guitar idol. So that if you scroll through the comments of that post, there's a reply in there from Justin Bieber, and all it says is, well, not the last greatest living performer. Oh, shit. What do you think he's implying there? I think he's a little salty.
He's talking about Beyonce.
I don't think he's talking about Beyonce. Why would you? That's not the way to handle that, dude. I think Jordan says, I hope he's not talking about himself. I think he was talking about himself.
Fuck Justin Bieber. It's gonna be hard for me to be like, hey man, like Anthony, you shirked your responsibilities as a podcaster.
He did extraordinaire. He got free tickets, so it's not like he paid for it, but still.
Dude, I wouldn't go. I don't care if someone paid me to go. You couldn't pay me to go see Justin Bieber.
You couldn't.
The only thing you could pay me with, it's like I was guaranteed to get laid by like 15 girls. Then I would go.
You know what? Next show, you can challenge Anthony. He claims Bieber is talented. And, if we didn't have Prince, Bieber would never had a chance to fucking make it halfway. If you guys like Lady Gaga and Usher and Prince, and Bieber, you have Prince to thank, really.
All right, kids at home, let's play a game. Let's play. How will Anthony play this off? All right. Now, if you think he's going to come in and own it and be like, yeah, what's up, Justin Bieber, and I'm proud and I like it. All right. That's choice A.
Okay.
Choice B is that he's completely embarrassed that he went to Justin Bieber and he's like, okay, give it to me up the ass, guys. I deserve it.
Okay.
I'm a dick, but I was free and I got to go.
Okay.
Whatever. So what do you think? Is it going to be choice A, B, or you have another choice? You have a C choice in round. You know Anthony a little better than me.
No, I think those two are good. I'm going to go choice B. Tweet us your answer at Jock and Nerdcast. Which way do you think Anthony's going to go?
I feel like Anthony's going to dig his heels in and tell us that we're dicks for not going to Justin Bieber. Sounds like a typical jock thing to do.
Is he going to own it or not?
A jock never apologizes. A jock never says he was wrong. It's weird to dicks. We obviously don't know what's going on because we're nerds.
Boy. I can't wait to see him talk his way out of that one. But, Bruggs, here's the thing. We got something we need to talk our way out of a little bit. And it relates to our last episode. I need to clarify some comments. Do you remember at all when we were busting balls a little bit about
Bilotti balls?
Yeah, we were busting our balls about our buddy Bilotti. We were busting balls about our buddy Bilotti. And maybe it got out of control. Maybe I misspoke. I want to make it the case here. I didn't want it to seem like I called John Bilotti a fanboy in the derogatory sense of the term of the word, because he is not. He's a
fanboyitis, you said.
I may have said fanboyitis. I was trying to make a point, and John Bilotti got all mixed in. You know how the thing is when you bust in your buddy's balls, and then maybe it goes over the line, and you take it too far. You're like, you know what? You're right.
That never happens to me.
No, it never happens to you, Rex.
Never. I never go too far.
I gotcha. Well, as humans, sometimes that we're susceptible to that. So I just want to make it clear. Look, Bilotti is a fan of Godzilla, and he's a brilliant artist and illustrator. Check out his work at robo7.com. If you like Godzilla at all, you're going to love his artwork. But the point I was trying to make, first of all, I think we need to take this word fanboy back. Was it always derogatory? Wasn't it a good thing at some point?
Well, I think in the case of John Bilotti, all right, this guy's a very respectable guy. Yeah. He's a good man.
Absolutely.
He's a nice man.
He was on a Batman. Everyone heard the Batman versus Superman review. That was Bilotti. He's awesome.
Okay, but there are certain things that you need to know about John. And one of those things is he has a big respect for the Japanese craftsmanship. He loves because he builds sets himself.
Yeah, he's a scenic
painter. He's got a big respect for that. So I think that plays a part, and it plays a part in how he sees these Japanese movies. So that's it. It's not that he's gonna love everything that's automatically Japanese. But there's another aspect of it. He's met a lot of these people.
Yes.
He personally knows them. So I think he knows a different perspective than assholes like me.
Yeah, or me. Or me. I was an ass, which is why I bring this up. I was an ass. Plus, Bilatti's in the union. I don't need any hired goons, showing up at my door.
Yeah, I think we're safe.
In the middle of the afternoon. But look, my point is this. I think we should take the word fanboy back. I want to run another little Twitter question and answer. I think everyone should get a pass for one thing. We all love stuff so much. And I feel like everybody has that one thing that they will give a pass to. So I think, listen, tweet us or put in the comments here, #fanboy pass, and I'll start clearly Spider-Man. I will fanboy pass Spider-Man almost all the time, and I don't care. I'm unapologetic about it. Ruggs, what about you? What do you think about my theory?
That everybody has something?
Like one thing that they're like, I love this no matter what.
I don't know. Hold on a second. All right. So I had the burp. All right. Fantastic. I had some zesty food today.
All right. It's good. Spices are good for your health.
I had a spicy meatball. Anyway.
It's a spicy meatball.
What was I saying? Everything that I know that sucks. Everything I know it sucks, so I don't really. I defend it because, in a way, I know it sucks. I know when things suck.
All right, so you're a fanboy of sucking.
Yeah, like I know things. So I like things. Okay, this is the thing. When you have a movie like Batman versus Superman,
yes,
okay, everything is going for it. There is no resource untapped. Like the studio's behind it. There's money. There's actors thrown at this thing.
Yep.
You have every right to fucking hate something when it doesn't work out from a studio with big money. But when you see like a B movie that's made in another country that has shitty effects, you know it sucks. But you're like, hey, it's not the same. It's not even the same category of kind of movie. So you give it a pass.
But sometimes just the act of seeing this thing on a big screen and a moving medium, something you didn't think you would see, that's enough. Like I own every kind of content Spider-Man is on screen. I have a copy of it. Just even when it sucks, from the 60s show to like Amazing Spider-Man 2, just because this is Spider-Man, moving and alive and I want it.
So you're just gonna get everything Spider-Man no matter what it is.
Yep.
See, I don't even have that sickness.
It's a sickness. It's a sickness. Okay, we got it. I love Hello Kitty. Cat Nico says. There you go. Even Spider-Man Homecoming shit. I may buy some of the characters if they look cool. I don't know. Maybe get a poster. But let us know what you think. #fanboy pass at Jock and Nerdcast. Do you have something you will give a pass to? Finally, Ruggs. Yeah.
After you do this, I want to do a news story.
Okay. Wait, we'll get into the news and you can start.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
The last bit, I just got to say real quick, it's kind of a big podcasting news in the industry. If you are on Google Play, if you use Google on your Android, Google is now carrying podcasts. Not only that, Google has the Jock and Nerd podcast.
Whoa!
You can listen to the Jock and Nerd podcast on Google Play right now. Oh, shit. It's very, very exciting. Just go to jockandnerd.com/Google and it'll take you right to the page. Right now, I noticed it works really good on your computer and browsers and on Android phones. So, Android listener, this is for you. One less app you may have to switch between. If you're already using Google Play to listen to music, just search Jock and Nerd podcast. Subscribe. You can listen to us there.
Whoa, that's so cool, man. We're getting on everything.
Jordan of the Pie says she's big into Dragon Ball Z. That's what I'm saying. That's like a thing.
Whoa.
That's a thing. All right, Russ, we're going to do the news, and you start first right after this.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
What you got, Ruggs?
Well, I don't know if this is a news story or just something to talk about, but I'll let it come out, and you give me the skinny whether you want to keep going with it.
Okie dokie.
All right. So, have you heard about this Ghost in the Shell thing?
Yeah.
All right, the whitewashing thing.
More whitewashing. This is what I heard. Well, that one picture came out Scarlett Johansson just kind of looking in the mirror at herself, which, I mean, the picture's not exciting.
Yeah.
And then everyone is like, here we go again. They're hiring an American to play a clearly Asian part. And then I heard that they were testing special effects to make the actors look Asian.
Oh shit.
I was like, what is that? What's going on with this?
I want to comment on this because, look, okay, let me just start out by making a blanket statement so people can just shut the fuck up and start, because I'm going to come at this at a weird angle.
Oh, boy.
That's what Rug Boy does.
That's what Rug Boy does.
Okay. So the answer is yes. Hollywood is whitewashing shit. Yes. Hollywood has to make a bigger effort to put more diverse actors, especially, of the smaller minorities that are in the country, like the Asian people and, whatever, because we have so many minorities in here. It's hard to keep track and get everybody involved. But yes, there should be more diversity. And if in the case of a Ghost in the Shell, it's a manga, it comes from Japan, the character has a Japanese name, whatever. But I just want to put this out there. All right. Now, in the case of actual historical stuff or things where that person should be Asian, or whatever, yes, it's a huge mistake not to cast people. Like when the Gods of Egypt came out, it says Egypt in the name. You maybe should have some Egyptian-looking people in there. It makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, but now let me just play devil's advocate for a second. All right. Now, you can watch a Japanese animation movie and not know what race anybody is because they're racially ambiguous, and to the point where anime, the stylization of even their eyes being big and their facial features being small, everybody has the same facial features. There's no like guy with a wide nose. There's no guy with a big lips. And if they are, they're very stereotypical. But in the general population of most anime, they're racially ambiguous. They don't even change shades of people's skin really that much in anime. Now, they're causing their own problem by not being specific in the way they draw their characters. You can't tell if one person's Asian and one's not. In Ghost in the Shell, there's a guy with blonde hair and white hair. How do you know what that guy is? You don't know. And Ghost in the Shell is a cyborg. How do you know what it is? I don't know. In the future, is Japan like a melting pot where everybody lives there and it's like New York and there is no gender or racial specificness there? Because if you watch any anime, they have blonde hair, they have red hair, they have all kinds of different hair. You don't know what that is. So anime is so unspecific when it comes, and they do it to they almost do it to themselves. They whitewash themselves.
They kind of do. I mean, but you're right in the sense that the style of drawing that we know is anime, which the large eyes and the little nose and the pointy, the chin comes to a point. It is very neutral. It's not even a reflection of the culture that it comes from. It's an ideal. Akira,
yeah. They're clearly Asian.
Yeah.
Because they're drawn, like the people who designed that, they wanted it to be specifically Asian
I see what
in
you're
a way.
saying. Yeah.
So you can tell in the difference just between Akira and if you watch Fist of the North Star or any of these old animes, there's people that don't look in any way Eastern. So I understand the argument that Ghost in the Shell is a Japanese thing and it's an anime, whatever, and her name is even Japanese. But if you're living in America and your name is, let's say your name is Anthony Kryzak, how am I going to know that you're Asian? You don't know. It's not specific to your race or whatever, or your racial bent.
I mean, I'm looking at some images from the cartoon, and you really can't tell what national. Some of these guys look American in this. You can't tell. It's very vague, but it's an idealized, stylized view of human anatomy to make it expressive.
Well, yeah, and even the proportions, like if you're gonna be specific about something, you want to be specific, it has to be specific to the common person looking at it and going, that is an Asian person. If you're gonna be that specific about it.
So you're saying the source material is not necessarily leading a person to think that that's what it is.
Because, okay, I'll tell you, this is when I first discovered this. When Street Fighter was going to be made into a live action movie,
right?
and they cast an Asian person as Ryu. I didn't know that Ryu was Asian.
Right.
In the video game, because he looked too Western. He looked more like a Jean-Claude Van Damme than Bruce Lee.
I mean, you can make the argument that the anime style, I drew it a lot. I studied it when I was a kid just because I love drawing these expressive faces, but it's like a westernized, it is Western influence, even the style itself.
Yeah, so like I understand they are completely right. You can't just cast white people in every freaking race. That's retarded. All right. But when it comes to like anime, there's a gray area there. And that's because of the stylistic thing that they've chosen to make everybody, no matter what, almost have the same exact facial structure. Whether if you're you really don't see that too many black anime characters at all. And if they are, they're very cartoony black. But they're very few and far between. You don't see a lot of skin tones changing. They're all like this pasty white, or pink, and then Appleseed, she has blonde hair, and blue eyes. How does she not? She has a Japanese name, so
it's very confusing.
She has some makeup.
In a sense, ScarJo kind of works in that sense because.
Well, I'm not really defending Scarlett Johansson. I think they shouldn't have cast her. I think they should have cast someone, but who are you going to cast? That's the second question.
That's the thing. They need, you're a studio. You need a name to make a movie to get people to come out and see it. I mean, they had her in Lucy, and that was a kind of
you know how Hollywood works. Yeah. Like, look, we've invented this stupid shit. It's our fault because in the 80s there was the movie star did not necessarily sell a movie.
Right.
It was about the movie itself. Now you need a star to prop up a movie. That's this whole way of thinking is retarded, but that's what Hollywood is now. They need a name to because they need to make all this money. They need to spend this money to make all this money. So they need a name they can bet on.
It's always got to be a vehicle for someone. Bill, this is a ScarJo vehicle. Let's put it together. Okay, that's some food for thought, Ruggs. I don't know. You threw me with that one, but I've been reading about this, and I haven't heard that point of view about it in all the stuff I've read. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I know people are gonna call me some kind of an idiot or whatever.
Send your hate mail to @reallyRugBoy on Twitter.
It's fine. All I'm saying is that if you're a person who draws, and you do, Imran,
yes,
you can draw something to look like whatever you want. I could draw someone to look Pakistani if I want.
Absolutely.
I can make you look like Imran if I wanted to, just like you.
Don't do that. No, I already did that. But now I get it. You just you kind of blew my mind on that one because now that I think about it, they're just a generalized, idealized, stylized. But I love the style. Everyone loves the style. But what does that look like in real life?
How are you going to get up in arms about it if they did it in the first place?
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. Moving on to some other stuff. Rugg, somebody counted all the lines Superman has in Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice.
Okay, can we do an over and under?
Let's do an over and under. Listen, let me set this up. One of the title characters in this huge movie. How many lines do you think a title character should have? Somebody counted them all. What do you guys think?
Like at least 30, 40 lines.
You're very close. 42,
how many lines?
42 lines.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
One of the title characters in a long-ass 2.5-hour movie, he's got 42 lines. Which, you know what? If you get a good writer and a good storytelling director, you can make a whole Superman movie without any dialogue. It can be done. In fact, I'd rather have that. Than him give 42 very plotting lines. Also, did you see this bit about Robin's weapon? We see, in the movie, you see a shot of Robin's suit, and he's holding like a big sword with you barely see the end of it. It's you think
that it's his bow staff.
You think it's a bow staff, commonly used, like Leonardo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
or Tim Drake
in the Batman comic books. But according to this Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice tech manual, this thing is a fucking giant pickaxe. Oh, like it looks like it came out of World of Warcraft. Why would the Robin need this giant pickaxe murder device?
It's the DC Murderverse.
I guess it makes sense. This thing is huge, and it makes absolutely no sense. But it makes sense in Zack Snyder's Murderverse, everyone.
This is just another notch on the belt of somebody who can clearly now make a case that Zack Snyder doesn't know what the fuck these characters are.
Don't get it. And Snyder's now, they started shooting a Justice League. We know that. We have a new cast member joining Justice League. Another alumnus from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man verse. William Dafoe is joining the cast of the Justice League. Scary old Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, William Dafoe as allegedly a good guy, which is hard for me to even see him as a good guy because he's just scary face.
Yeah, didn't we talk about that on the other show?
We talked about this on the Weeby Geek show, listener. We're going to be on episode 166 of Weeby Geeks, the show that we are part of on the network. And when it comes out, I'll put the link in the show notes of the show. But Ruggs, we were trying to guess, who do you think he could play? Who would you like him to play?
Well, we had some guesses, and that's what I was trying to get to. Yeah, we had some guesses. Maybe who was going to be part of Firestorm.
Yeah, somebody threw out he could make a good Dr. Stein. Here's the thing. I think he could make a good older character, maybe like an older Ray Palmer or an older Ted Kord Blue Beetle, or maybe even an older Oliver Queen. That's one.
Or Dr. Fate.
That was a good one. He could also be their Flash's father, Henry Allen. Or how about a cameo as Jay Garrick? And by the way,
what if he's Martian Manhunter? That's what I think.
He could be Martian Manhunter. Oh, by the way, a cameo in DC and Snyder's Murderverse is this. Basically, he'll be in a scene that's completely out of place. You don't know who that is or what's going on, and then it'll just cut to something else without any explanation. That's what he calls. Oh shit! That'll be the cameo. That'll be an Easter egg.
Good to me.
So, who's next? They got J.K. Simmons playing Gordon. They got William Dafoe. All they need is the Tobey Maguires and the Kristen Dunst, and it's complete.
James Franco.
Yeah, get the James Franco. Just poach the whole Spider-Man cast, Sam Raimi's cast. It's fairly weird. But speaking of staying in the DC universe for a second, our favorite writer, insert sarcasm here, David S. Goyer, he's been trying to get this Krypton prequel show off the ground.
At Sci-Fi?
It looks like Sci-Fi is going to pick up a pilot for this take called Krypton, which is Superman's origin story, and
or Crapton.
It should be called. Oh, shit! It should be called Crapton. This is even. I don't know. I still think this is not a good idea, given what Gotham has done to the Batman verse. How they're doing it. This is on Sci-Fi. I don't know. That's even less money, and you're gonna need more special effects. This is just, and it's David S. Goyer, who does not understand Superman. Yeah, he wrote the take on the Kryptons and Man of Steel, but I don't think this is going to be any good, personally.
I don't think, I mean, I'll check it out to see what it is, but I know it's going to be shit.
It's going to be crap. Good luck, Sci-Fi. Moving on to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Captain America Civil War is coming out in a couple of weeks. Movie. They're tracking that it's going to have a $175 million opening. Ruggs. That's crazy. This could be, I think it's going to go 200 million.
I can't wait for this thing to just beat the shit out of everything that BVS did in its first week out.
I think it will be possible. It'll shut them up over there, and they're going to be worried. Look, right now on Rotten Tomatoes, 97%. It's 85 on Metacritic, not Metacritic. That's that cricket website that talks about itself all the time. No, Metacritic, 85. So in pre-sales, this movie is currently outselling all previous Marvel movies. Oh, shit. In the pre-sale. It is Fandango saying this is the most anticipated action movie of the season, followed by Independence Day Resurgence, and then Jason Bourne, X-Men Apocalypse, Suicide Squad. It is outselling all previous movies at the same point in this sales cycle. It's outselling Captain America Civil War and Avengers Age of Ultron, and Winter Soldier. Sorry, it's outselling all of those.
Cool.
So I already bought my ticket. So
that's good news, man. It's looking good.
Cannot wait. I hope I can't wait for this movie. More exciting news for the MCU. Jon Favreau, whose movie Jungle Book is destroying at the box office right now. We had 103 million opening. He's coming back to Marvel Studios to executive produce Avengers Infinity War Parts 1 and 2. Geek boner. Which is very good. You need the Favreau. You need the Favreau's sensibilities.
He's a talented dude. He should get back to doing tentpole stuff. He's really good at that shit.
Dude, this Jungle Book, I kind of want to see this. I've read things like this is the best use of 3D since Avatar. That you have to see this on a large screen. That and if you've seen the trailers, you've seen the lush background. This whole thing was shot in a soundstage in LA, Rugs.
I can't believe it.
That little kid had nobody to act with, and it was all green, and it looks amazing. Like it looks amazing.
Hey man, I think it's great. I mean, maybe he took a page out of Cameron's book. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, it's destroying the box office. I'm gonna check it out now. We have Jordan says the people who did the Life of Pi Tiger, like the animals look great. They worked on
Richard Parker.
They worked on some of it. What is that for the movie?
Yeah, Life of Pi. He says Richard Parker, and then I keep thinking it's Peter Parker's dad.
It's calling for Peter Parker's dad. Speaking of Peter Parker, got some more interesting Spider-Man reboot casting news. Spider-Man Homecoming, the reboot coming out next summer. We got someone in and we got someone out. Robert Downey Jr., RDJ, confirmed in Spider-Man Homecoming.
So Iron Man's making an appearance.
Iron Man will be in Spider-Man, which, as we said, makes sense since we think he gives him the suit in Civil War. Now, who's out? Unfortunately, we were geeking out about this last week. Michael Keaton in talks. Michael Keaton is no longer in talks to do a villain for Spider-Man. He's out.
He wanted to play Batman.
He just wants to play Batman again.
I want to be Batman again, and that's it.
I would have loved to see him. Hey, thanks for checking us out in the blab. I just want to say real quick, I am Golden Music. If you stick around to the end of the show, we open up the seat and we will geek out with you. But I was excited to see Michael Keaton in this. You know what? It's okay. Get someone else.
You know what I heard what happened was that they brought him in for a fitting to try in the Vulture thing.
Yeah.
And he kept on telling him, can you paint it black? And I want pointy ears on this thing. He's like, I like the wings, but I just need some bat ears.
Can we get some more rubber and some bat ears? I feel more comfortable that way.
Yeah.
Look, I still think the villain is going to be Vulture. I remember Raimi wanted Malkovich to play the Vulture for like Spider-Man 4 something. Dude, so anybody would kill to be in this part. I think.
What about Cranston?
Oh, dude, Bryan Cranston. If they didn't, get Bryan Cranston.
Get Cranston.
Get Cranston in here. Stat. Where is he?
He looks great bald. He's a good actor.
Yeah, I think, and he's the right age. I think. Look, this movie we're gonna hear a lot because they gotta pick somebody. This movie starts production in June, and it'll come out next summer. Now. I think, Rugs, do you think people are in Spider-Man fatigue, being like, this is the third goddamn reboot of Spider-Man again?
Yeah.
Okay, I think after Civil War comes out, though, there will be no more Spider-Man fatigue. I think they're gonna be like, okay, I get it. This is a different Spider-Man. I'm excited again. This is what I've been hearing. This is what I've been hearing. Is that after watching this, you want to see Spider-Man in his own movie. You want to see this Spider-Man. Man, I can't wait. If they could do that, then they've accomplished so much with this movie.
Well, the last Spider-Man movie came out like 2 or 3 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, not too long ago. It's still fresh. The stinky.
Yeah, you gotta wait at least 5 or 6 years before you do another.
But you know what? That movie is funny. Like it was profitable. It made a lot of money, but nobody liked it. Nobody ended up liking it. But
I liked it. I just thought I didn't like the end.
Yeah, no, it was like
they should have taken the Green Goblin out of that movie.
It was like a quarter of a movie. Token. He's been talking.
Should have taken him out.
It was like a little. They just didn't know when to stop. Again, I think it's studios. They're like, shove this in, and they always fuck it up. The suits always fuck it up.
Yeah, they shove things in, and they ruined the whole thing because now they don't give it enough time.
Yeah, it's too much, too soon. Like you're bringing in a whole other villain right at the end. Anyways, I'm ready for Civil War. I'm ready for all the Spider-Man you could throw at me. Hair is all my money. Moving on to some Marvel on Netflix news, Rugs. Luke Cage is coming out, and they have started shooting the Iron Fist.
Yay!
Jones. We have some casting and we have some photos. So we have cast as there's the whole Meacham family. There he is right there. They've cast David Wenham, who will play Harold Meacham, and they've cast Jessica Stroop and Tom Pelfrey to play siblings Joy and Ward Meacham, Harold Meacham's kids. So how this fits into the story in the comic books, Danny Rand's father was friends with Harold Meacham. They were business partners. They were looking for Kunlun. They went on this trip, his parents with Harold Meacham, and there was an accident, and it was Harold's fault, and his parents die. So now Danny Rand is living with the Meachams, and they build up his company, and Danny studies the Iron Fist and wants to come back and get revenge on Harold because he killed his dad and his parents. And I don't know if the TV show is going to do that, but we also have photos. He looks like a homeless hippie, basically.
Danny Rand? Is that Danny Rand?
That's Danny Rand. That's Finn Jones's Danny Rand. He's got a big beard. He's not wearing any shoes. He's got dirty pants. And like, how do you describe that, Ruggs? Who is that? What does that look like to you?
It just looks like a dude. He just looks like Leonardo DiCaprio, like on any given day.
He kind of does. He looks like Leo, and he's just like hasn't taken care of himself for a while.
No, just that's normal Leo. He doesn't give a damn if the babe dirty. He can be dirty for 3 days and he'll still get laid.
I don't know what point of the show this is, but he looks like a homeless white dude, basically.
Yeah.
There's other shots where he has like an iPhone in his ear. There's cords. It's very weird. But our first look as Finn Jones as Danny Rand in Marvel's Iron Fist on Netflix.
Okay. Danny Rand.
Ruggs, I turned 40, like we said a couple weeks ago. So growing up, I watched a show that was very inappropriate for me, but I watched it anyways. And that show was Three's Company.
Okay.
Well, guess what? They're going to make a movie. There's a Three's Company movie in development. That's gonna
Get the hell out of here,
What?
Imran.
Who gave you the right?
What? I perked up when I read this because I remember watching Three's Company with the Jack Tripper with Chrissy and Janet and not getting the sexual innuendo, but just laughing because John Ritter was an amazing comedian.
For all the people that grew up like way after Imran did, let's describe the premise of the show. Three's Company is like, there's a dude, he wants to live in an apartment building
with 2 girls,
but he can't. Yeah,
with
but
2 women.
He can't afford it, so he's got to move in with these 2 girls. Now, during those times, I guess it was frowned upon for men to live with women out of wedlock.
Very scandalous.
He pretended to be gay,
Yes.
so nobody would suspect that he was like having like some kind of like threesome relationship.
All I remember are Suzanne Summers' cleavage as Cindy every episode.
I remember Joyce DeWitt.
Joyce DeWitt. Oh my God. But yeah, so Jack, and you had Don Knotts as Mr. Furley and the Ropers, and he would pretend to be gay. And I just remember laughing at, like, I didn't know why I was laughing, but like one episode where Jack and Chrissy are in the bathroom and the door's closed and they're trying to hang a shower curtain, and Furley's just listening outside, and all he hears is like, it doesn't fit. And he's like, well, you got to unfold it first. And Furley's just like reacting like he doesn't know what's going on. And I would laugh, and I don't know why. She's like, I'm trying to pull it out, but it doesn't fit. Oh, man. It was nothing but sexual innuendo, and it was great. So, but I don't think it needs a movie.
How? Nobody gives a shit if you live with 2 girls anymore.
Right. It's not. You're right. At the time, and for it to be a sitcom, it was pretty racy. It was pretty racy to be like a primetime sitcom.
Yeah, it was cool to make fun of gay people then.
Oh, shit. Oh, the good old early 80s. Three's Company finally gave us Quagmire from Family Guy, which is like a direct rip of the neighbor Larry. And the Regal, remember the Regal Beagle?
Remember Greedy Gretchen?
Greedy Gretchen. And
they were always trying to get a date with Greedy Gretchen.
Remember the different girl, like there was Cindy, and then there was there was Chrissy, then there was her sister Cindy, and then it was Terry the nurse who finished out the season. And then there was a spinoff that wasn't really good at all.
And you get to see Terry the nurse's boobs in Mallrats.
That's right. And does she have a third nipple or a third boob?
Yeah, and then she eats it.
That's very strange. Moving on. If you guys are fans of The Walking Dead, or especially if you're fans of The Walking Dead comic book, there's an awesome one-shot. It's a digital-only one-shot you can get, and it's not written by Kirkman. It's written by Brian K. Vaughan. They get to play in the Walking Dead universe. It's called The Alien, and you can get it at Panel Syndicate Comics at panelsyndicate.com. The beauty of this, it's a pay-what-you-want structure. So I bought it. I read it. I put in $4. I could put in $1, but I was just used to like paying $4 for comics, and it lets you download a PDF of it. And there's a really cool, there's two characters. It takes place in Barcelona. It's black and white with just a little bit of highlights color for effect. It's really well done. Takes place in Barcelona. The characters Jeff and Claudia. Jeff is a relation to someone in the main universe. I don't want to spoil it. You guys should check it out because Panel Syndicate, it's really cool. You can go there and get it for $1. Download it, read it right there. And Panel Syndicate is set up by Brian K. Vaughan, is one of the guys who set it up, and they just want to be able to put out really good comic books and have it available to everyone. It's DRM free, no rights, pay what you want, and you get original comic books. Ruggs, does this sound interesting to you at all?
Yeah, I'll check it out.
I kind of want to tell you who's in it. There's someone that's related to like one of the main cast of The Walking Dead, but I want you guys to support them because it's really cool. Maybe next show I'll spoil it.
Yeah, wait till next show and we'll tell you all about it.
You guys read it. Two things left. The Terminator people, they've been talking about making more movies. I don't think they really know what they want to do with the franchise, but they're gonna need a new Sarah Connor. Emilia Clarke is done. She's out. She will not be reprising the role of Sarah Connor that she played in Terminator Genisys or Genisys.
I got you the perfect Sarah Connor.
All right, who should it be, Ruggs?
Katie Lotz.
Oh, the white canary or black canary, Laura Lance.
No, Katie Lotz.
Oh, the other one.
She's the white canary.
White canary. That's who I was going to say first. I always get them. I love Katie Lotz. How could I not remember her? Katie Lotz as Sarah Connor. She's pretty badass.
She's badass. She can act. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to move. She can hold a gun and look convincing.
Ooh, I like that. That would be a great role for her. I mean, I liked Emilia Clarke. It was kind of forgettable, but I don't think that was her fault, really.
My second go-to would probably be, this is weird, but I would say Lindsay Fonseca because
you love the Lindsay Fonseca. Yeah.
Well, not that I love her. She's not a great actress, but she can do that's the same action stuff as well.
Dottie from Agent Carter, right?
Yeah.
Carlos Real TLN says Wonder Woman will be good. Gal Gadot as a Terminator. I mean, Sarah Connor.
She could do it, but she has an accent. She's not American.
That's a good point. You got
America.
It's so hard to replace Linda Hamilton, man. That's how dope she was in that part.
That's right.
She can do an American accent. The Cumberpatch can do it for Doctor Strange. She could do it. I don't know. Finally, last bit of news. Listener, if you listen to our episode, Jock and Nerd, episode 64, we had our friend and Oscar award-winning filmmaker Sean Christensen on for an awesome discussion about the entertainment industry, music, film, and he had hinted about his next project called a movie called Sydney Hall. And so I see this in Variety, of all places, Variety. Logan Lerman, Ellie Fanning to star in Sean Christensen's Sydney Hall. Joining them, Michelle Moynihan, Kyle Chandler, and Nathan Lane are set to star in this movie, Ruggs. That's pretty.
Looks like it's gonna be awesome.
That is a great cast. It's an indie drama called Sydney Hall. He's directing it from a script he co-wrote with his buddy Jason Dolan. And
nice guy.
Yeah, the story follows 3 stages in life of the title character who writes the book of his generation before disappearing without a trace. Very interesting. Begins production next week in New York City. So, man, I can't wait for Sean's next movie to come out, man. Before I Disappear and Curfew, of course, were very good. And listen to episode 64, Jock and Nerd, if you want to hear us hear more. It was a very good show.
Look, I'll tell you this about Sean Christensen. He's definitely got some kind of genius level there. He's got that thing. He has a good eye. He knows what he's doing. So I would keep my eye on this guy. When he's an old fuck, he's probably going to have an Oscar.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. Keep your eye on Sean Christensen. This guy is taking his career slowly and the right way, building up. He's done great things. He's going to continue to do really good things. All right, that wraps up the news. Let's get to the TV shows.
Doc and Nerd.
Doc and Nerd.
Let's spoil some shit, Batman.
Thanks for checking us out. This is the Jock and Nerd podcast. We're going to be talking about this week's latest episode of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, Episode 17, titled The Team.
Yes.
Secret Warriors assemble for like 5 minutes, and then the whole thing kind of fell apart there.
Absolutely.
A little bit. We got to see Daisy, Quake, Sky, whatever you want to call her, finally pull the Secret Warriors together. Lincoln, electric shooty guy Lincoln, metal melty guy Joey Gutierrez, short distance really running fast girl Yo-Yo, and of course shaky girl Daisy.
Okay, so they have to rescue somebody or something. Right?
Well, they gotta go get the whole team because remember Gira had the plane in Hydra. And did you notice at the beginning, like Joey was like picking up guys or he was going on a date? That was great. Like I didn't realize that character was gay, but I like how they.
No, I've heard him say gay things before.
Oh really? I was like, oh, he's picking up dudes. Cool. But that was funny. And Yo-Yo's like trying to learn English, and they just grab him, and they literally bust through the wall when they get to Hydra. That was kind of badass.
Yeah, it was cool. Like. What happens is they go in and do the big rescue, and then
they grab
by proxy, they get infected.
Well, yes, they grab Malik, and look, it was a good use of like it was really short. That was the only problem. Like it was right the first 5 minutes of the episode, but you really got to see the teamwork with their powers. Like Joey would melt bullets shooting at them, and then Yo-Yo runs around and puts handcuffs on. I was like, cool teamwork. That's a lot of fun. And then they grab Malik and they get him, and it's all quick. But Malik tells them, Hive likes to infect Inhumans, and you sent 4 Inhumans in there. I guarantee you one of them is infected. And he's kind of messing with Coulson, but Coulson buys it, and he should, because he was right. One of them was infected.
Do you want to say who it was?
Well, we'll say who it was. I liked how they did this, Ruggs. Did you get they kind of tricked me. It was the last person you thought. First you thought it was Lincoln. Then you thought it was Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
Then you thought it was Joey for a second because he kept disappearing.
Yeah.
Again, spoiler, it was fucking Daisy. Shit. That's huge, and I did not expect that coming. What'd you think, Ruggs?
I think after it wasn't the first guy, I figured it was Daisy.
You're like, if it's the last person we think of, it's gonna be Daisy.
If it like it's either the most obvious person that nobody trusts, and they're like, "Fuck you," or they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do it the last possible person you would think it is."
You know, despite that the whole Secret Warriors battling thing ended quickly, I kind of enjoyed like the spy mistrust, everyone doesn't trust each other, kind of bit about the episode.
I don't know. I hate that. I hate when they do that. They need to let things breathe a little more.
No,
they just as soon as they get together, they hate each other. It's like when a couple they've been wanting to get together all season, and then they finally get together. They go on that date, and then they hate each other's guts. It's like it's like every cliche that you've ever seen.
It's pretty cliche. But we also I was sad that Malik got killed, dude. They killed Gideon Malik. Powers fucking Booth, dude. Powers Booth goes back to the Avengers movies. He was on those screens when they were talking to S.H.I.E.L.D. Gideon Malik, I'm sad to see him go because I love him. And him and Coulson together on screen were great.
Yeah. Well, he is no longer useful to Hive. He's just like, fuck it, dude. He knew that he was weak. That's why he killed his daughter.
Yeah, that's true. He was so that flash he saw was kind of true. It was Hive killing him through Daisy, and she like squishes his head. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah. She commits murder.
And she tried to get Lincoln to go with her, and he wasn't buying it. And finally you get Fitz and Simmons. They kiss. And you think they're all going to be happy, and then all shit starts breaking loose. Why? Because Daisy, on the way out, she steals a bunch of crystals. She steals that orb thingy, and she's just shaking the whole place on their way out. It's all crumbling, collapsing. The fucking Airbus is getting damaged. Looks like Coulson got squished. And that was nuts. What's going to happen? Is she going to die in the end? Like, Hive has her. It's amazing.
They're going to figure out a way to uninfect her. That's all.
What a reunion that it's going to be. Because, like, Hive has Ward's memories. So he's going to be like, he'll be ecstatic that he's, like, returned to the girl that he wanted.
Well, isn't Fitz and Simmons working on some kind of cure?
Yeah, they were trying to use what's his name's the Creel blood from Crusher. But it wasn't working. It didn't work. And then there's also the question of where Lash is and when he's going to come in and just save everyone. Like, I think Lash is just going to come in and save everybody.
That could be the Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, the ending was crazy, but overall, like, I wish I saw more of them, like, the fighting a little bit. It was just, you're right. It's very quick.
Yeah, they rushed it. I don't know. They used it as, like, sometimes what they do is they make these things so they can make the commercials look cool, and so you'll tune in. And then there's really nothing there.
What a tease. I like how they explained his name, though. His name was Alveus, which is Latin for hive. That's the name Hive.
Alveus.
Okay. Alveus, what are you doing? Did you take out the trash, Alveus?
Alveus and the Chipmunks.
Alveus!
Alveus! I beat you to it.
All right, well, yeah, that was mostly that episode. Anything else you got on that, Ruggs?
Nah.
All right,
moving on to the next.
Moving on then.
Yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
All right, gang, we're going to talk about the new episode of Supergirl. It was the season finale. We didn't really talk about the show a lot, but we talked about it last week. This was kind of like a two-parter season finale. First season finale, episode 20, titled Better Angels. I don't know. This episode was kind of all over the place. I just watched to see what the hell was going to happen after the end of the last one because they hooked me. I almost like the last episode better than this episode.
Oh, it's much better than this one.
Right? It was a little bit wonky. Where we left off, Alex and Kara were leaping up for a big battle, and Alex was kind of kicking the shit out of her because she was holding back, I guess. She didn't want to kill her.
They did the Batman versus Superman with them.
They totally did the same thing where Batman is winning.
She was wearing a suit like that was all like robotic. She had a kryptonite sword instead of a kryptonite gas gun
or spear. Yeah,
or a spear. Yeah.
And how does it get conveniently stopped very quickly right in the beginning of the episode?
It just happens.
Her mom comes and talks her out of it, basically.
Oh shit.
There's a lot of things like that.
She's like, have some hope, Alex. And she snaps out of it, and then Supergirl goes on and does like an infomercial for people. And and then everyone, it's an infomercial selling hope. $9.99. Oh, but wait, there's more. You'll get twice the amount of hope if you act now. And everyone snaps out.
That was their genius idea.
And it worked. Everyone snaps out of Myriad. So this Myriad grand plan that wasn't he working on this for like decades? Non and the Kryptonians. They're working on this forever. It is taken down pretty much in an instant by a PSA.
Yeah,
about hope.
They should have run a slap chop ad too. Button it in with there.
So that all wrapped up very quickly, which led to the next hilarious bit was that for some reason Superman is the only one still unconscious and out. Like everyone else is fine. And so what do you see the rest of the episode, Ruggs?
A useless bitch ass Superman who doesn't do anything.
You see them having a conversation, and you just see Superman's legs on the table behind them. Like it's the most. It was just. I was laughing so hard. I was like, seriously, that nobody even like mentions him. Like you just see his fucking boots lying on the table behind them. It was hilarious. But we have a couple of other revelations, Alex tells her mom about their father finally, that their father is alive.
Yeah.
So once the myriad fails, that Indigo girl is like, you know what? How about you just crank this to 11 and blow everyone's brains out? And Nan's like, okay, you're the boss. And that becomes the plan.
Yeah, so now they switch to now they have to get Nan and Indigo Girl to shut this stuff off.
And it's not like, it would make sense if he's like, look, I'm going to turn it up. The thing will go up, they'll explode. You can't do that, apparently. It takes a long, slow time to build up, give Supergirl and Martian Manhunter lots of time to fight Indigo and Nan. And I did love when John ripped fucking Indigo in half. I was not expecting that. I was like, oh boy. And then she's like all blue pieces and she's still talking.
I'd like to just put this out there to whoever's making Supergirl the show.
Yeah.
You got to get someone else to do the makeup and costuming for people because, like, they're 50-50. Like, the heroes look good, and then everybody else looks like shit.
Oh, my God.
Like, Indigo looks so bad.
Oh, my God. She looks like really bad cosplay. I'll agree. Like, I like the Manhunter, whether it's like a combination of, like, CGI and prosthetics, whatever they're doing, it works. But when they were fighting together, when he was fighting, it was so... It looked like Power Rangers. It looked like fucking Power Rangers.
The Indigo could have been cool looking.
Yeah. Even the design, it didn't make sense. The coolest thing Indigo did was being ripped in half by Martian fucking man Splinter.
Yeah.
But so in another great and also ridiculous moment, Kara has to fly the whole like Roz prison up into the sky. She doesn't think she's coming back. She's told everyone goodbye. And she pushes this thing up. She flies it up. And it's very dramatic, and I get it. And then, out of nowhere, somehow fucking Alex Danvers has figured out how to fly a Kryptonian ship, and it's there in time to save her. Really?
Bullshit.
Why are you letting people through this?
Why wouldn't that be Martian Manhunter? Wouldn't that make more sense? You would have flown up there. I get.
Yeah, let Martian Man boobs handle it.
Man boobs would have done it.
Like, that's the thing. Another thing is that the amount of strength. First of all, they shot themselves in the foot by saying how much it weighed.
Right.
They said it was like billions of tons or something.
Yeah.
Right. Didn't like Mr. Lane say it was like they couldn't move it because it was too heavy to do anything with? It was friggin'. So now they just established that Supergirl could pretty much pick up a planet. You know
what else bothered me? Like, I wish, like, where she picked it up from the top, that whole thing would have just ripped off. Like, I was like, why aren't you carrying it from the bottom? This is just physics. This is very inefficient. Like, if she's carrying it from inside the top sphere, the whole thing should have ripped apart. I thought it would have been nice at one point for her to kind of like pop it up and then just come underneath and cradle it. I don't know. And it didn't look like she was really exerting a lot of force. I don't know. I get what they had to do. And I get that the heart of this show, this whole season has been the sisters' relationship. So it had to be Alex to come fucking save her, but it was kind of fucking silly.
A little forced. Yeah.
So at the end, you got John Jones reinstated with the DEO. They trust him and they're gonna let him work there. That's cool. Kara, like Cat Grant, just gives her a new office and a yet to be determined job. Does this happen?
Give her a closet office.
They give her a closet office, and she's like, "You could just make up whatever job you want. I gotta hire a new assistant." Okay.
You want to know what? I think this is to address the fact that everybody was talking about how why would Supergirl be a flunky to like some lady and get her coffee?
But she's not a writer. Like, what's she gonna do? What is she gonna write? What is she gonna be doing? I don't get it.
She's just being paid to be Cat Grant's friend,
I guess. She loves the Cat Grant. So then there's the whole. Do you buy like even the chemistry between Kara and James Olsen? Like, it seems a little awkward.
Nah, it's not real.
Yeah, it seems a little like she kisses him and then she doesn't want to kiss him. They want to be together. Just why? I don't need this. And I don't understand. Can you explain to me the champagne trick, the Superman bottle champagne trick? Where she just holds the bottle and the cork pops off. Like, what is that? Why does it do that? Does she squeeze the bottle?
I don't know.
It's a thing apparently, and she did it at the end of that episode. And I was like, what? How did she do that? Anyways, that whole thing, you think it's over. Suddenly there's a thing streaking through the sky, and there's another fucking Kryptonian pod, and she opens it up, and she's like, oh, no, not you, or some shit. And of course, we don't see what it is. Ruggs, what's in the pod? What's in the pod?
It's a Kryptonian person.
Okay, I think we've narrowed it down.
Yeah.
To someone from another. I wish they would just. What about some other fucking bad guys? Why do they always got to be? And where were all these Kryptonian that like Non? I did like. What'd you think of the battle, the heat vision battle between her and Non? She kind of LASIK'd the ass out of his eyes. She gave him.
Yeah, she's done that before though with the tornado guy.
Yeah, I like when they do that. It looks cool, but like. So they just lock Non up, and then all the others left. I don't know. I didn't.
I have an idea who might be in the pod.
Who's in the pod?
Maybe it's Ursula.
Oh, who was Ursula?
Ursula was the TV version of the girl who comes down with Zod.
Yeah, girl, yeah. The girl in Superman 2.
And then they renamed her Feora.
Yes. Oh, another warrior. Kryptonian warrior. Well, overall, the season, I don't know, man. I feel like they had potential and they didn't really make good use of a lot of things.
It was underwhelming in a lot of ways, but I think they could still make a good show if they just get on track.
I mean, they had 20 episodes to kind of smooth this thing out, and I feel like they're still kind of finding their way around. It's
what they made a move though. They moved Kara to a different job.
Yeah.
They they got her to hook up with Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
They got John Jones in there as that third character to make, have her have a partner to play with, Yeah. And now she's got new bad guys. She's got Non and PETA and any other bread that wants to fight her. And
I feel like it's almost there. It's like, remember our illustration teacher would say when we give a critique and we're just a little bit off on the point, but like, you got your hand in the fridge, but you can't find the mayonnaise, kid.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. You got your hand in the oven, but you can't find the cake yet.
Yeah. You got your hand on your pants, but you can't find where you put the coin in the slot.
You got your hand in your pants, but you forgot to get the lube. Anyways, maybe we'll see where it goes next season. There was one season in. Good to see Supergirl on TV, I guess. She looks great. What is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Benoist.
Yeah. Next show, everybody.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Prepare to be spoiled.
All right, prepare for a time mind fuck right now, listener, because we're going to be talking about this week's new episode of The Flash. Season 2, episode 18, titled Versus Zoom. And by the way, we get a lot of Zoom backstory. I don't know if all of it made sense. I don't know if any of it made sense. Ruggs, we want to start? What'd you think of this overall?
I think it was like a flashback of like Zoom when he was a kid, when he was Hunter Zolomon.
Yeah, it started out, they kind of made an analogy with Hunter Zolomon's childhood and Barry's, whereas Barry, when he was young, saw his mother get killed, his dad go to prison, and he had a support, he had a family to take him in, and he became a really good person. On Earth 2, some years ago, a young Hunter Zolomon sees his mom get shot by his crazy dad.
Yeah.
And then he's got nobody. He gets sent to an orphanage and becomes Earth 2's most famous serial killer, who looks like, which is crazy because how did Wells 2 not recognize him then? Just because he had a long hair and a beard? Like he didn't.
Yeah, that could be it.
Plus, if Caitlin had just said the words Hunter Zolomon like 3 episodes earlier, they could have got to this conclusion a lot sooner. But we see, this is what we see. Okay, this is what was awesome. That tachyon device they got in last episode, they're testing it out. And Barry's running and he's like, I can go faster, guys. And I love how Cisco goes, do it. Like, he's so into it. It's like turning him on. He goes, do it. I was like, whoa, it's a little much. So he goes super fast, and you see him pop out and pop back in and get to Star Labs. And he's like, am I back? I think that's when he went to Supergirl.
Possibly.
But of course, he never mentions it to anybody, does he?
No, he doesn't. He just kind of glosses over that fact.
Why wouldn't you tell people? The only thing I'm thinking is maybe they
pointless.
They shot it all out of order and they didn't know it was going to happen. What did you mention? I just went. But look, they're looking for a way to get to another dimension. He just visited yet another dimension. What did you mention?
Well, maybe he didn't. You're just inferring it. That's the whole point. You don't want to say it definitively.
Damn it! It was he has the same device on in Supergirl. He was wearing that thing, and that when he shows up in that episode. He popped it out. I was like, that's it. That's it. But it makes him 4 times faster, dude. He's now faster than Zoom.
Yeah. So, yeah, it does give him the edge on the speed.
And then this leads to a whole bunch of stupid decisions that Barry wants to make. Bite him in the ass, which is kind of the theme of this whole show. Barry just can't catch a break. He wants to open up the breaches again. And Wells is like, nah, fuck that. I ain't helping you open up those breaches. Are you crazy? The guy kidnapped my daughter. You want him back here? Which he has a good point. Well, Wells too does.
But Wells comes around eventually. Hey, listen, I got to go on a break for a second. I'll be right back. You can open up one of the seats, maybe talk to Jordan for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
In like 2 minutes.
Where's Carlos? Carlos, come in for a second. Let me unlock this. And we'll pick it right back up when Ruggs gets back. Somebody, let's see. They have a screen share thing now, guys, too. If anybody wants to jump in just for a couple minutes, keep me company. Ruggs had an emergency.
I'll keep you company.
I think Ruggs needs to take a dump. Sometimes that happens during the show.
Yeah, he seems to do that every now and then. But at least he didn't go to a Justin Bieber concert. Just saying.
Can you believe that? That's the funniest shit ever. I was like, I cannot wait to tell everyone where you are because it's too perfect. It's too perfect.
Do you think he's gonna own it next week, or you think he's gonna try and play it off?
I think he'll own it. He's a good sport. I feel like he'll let us he'll take this shit. He'll let us take the shit, and he'll probably join in on giving him shit. He better has a story coming back. There will be he better have some kind of story next week.
They better get something out of it. I'm just saying.
Like, I let the Jock go on these little excursions so he can get life experience and bring it back to the show. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in this hole recording this show without him.
Yeah, my husband went out with his friends, and I'm here.
Oh, thanks, Jordan. You're awesome. We're gonna read a review at the end of the show. Also, I love your review.
Oh yeah,
it's very good.
Yeah, I've realized I didn't do it. I thought I did a long time ago, but I guess I didn't.
Jesse Looney, nice to see you in the room too. Missed you also. That's sweet. Thanks for supporting us on Patreon.
Welcome back.
So you saw Jungle Book, Jordan?
I did.
Just okay or really great, or what'd you think?
I thought it was pretty good.
Right.
And like I don't even really like the cartoon version, the original cartoon Disney version of it. It's probably one of my least favorite Disney movies. And
yeah,
this was actually really good. What they didn't make it like musical. There was like a couple of songs, but it wasn't overly, like Disney movies are, where they just sing a bunch. It was very well done. The animation was great.
The Jungle Book, Disney's Jungle Book by Favreau. Like so it didn't. When I heard it, like the animal, you just buy the animals talking. Like it's not as weird because I thought it would be weird, but like it's done so well that you don't question it. You're just like, yeah.
The only animal I had an issue with, and this is only because it's the person, but Christopher Walken's character, the King Louie.
Yeah.
For some reason, everybody else, it was fine. It was flawless. Like I didn't even think about who was doing the voice or whatever. But for some reason, when I see the big orangutan talking like Christopher Walken, singing like Christopher Walken, That's all I can think about
Well,
is
his
Christopher Walken.
voice is so distinctive. Like it's hard
I
to
know.
erase that. Yeah, only the kid was real. Like I think it's amazing that whole thing was shot in a soundstage, like on a green screen. That's ridiculous. And for that kid to act with nothing, like that's hard.
Yeah.
And that's like his first movie. And his first
Yeah.
movie, like so you really got to credit like the directors and the whole crew to like pull it off. That I got a fever. The only prescription is more cowbell.
No, and the kid wasn't bad. He was not bad at all. I mean, he definitely. I mean, he's definitely young, and there's some parts, you know, he's young, but like for there not to be any other people around him and him being on his own as a child, he did a great job. It's awesome that he was able to pull it off.
There's
So well.
another Jungle Book movie coming out like
Yeah.
next year. A Warner Brothers one. Warner Brothers got to be like, crap.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking about that. I knew that there was another one coming out. It's not going to do as well as this one.
There's like 2 Tarzan movies also, I think.
Yeah.
But no, like they needed to either come out at the same time as Disney or come out before.
Yeah,
now, you know,
I don't really understand why you need to have the same movie twice. You know?
Yeah. This is weird. This is like this one's called Jungle Book Origins, but this kind of stuff happens all the time. Like when Deep Impact comes out, like Armageddon comes out. So you got 2 like asteroid end of the world movies. Like it's just weird how they'll have the same, and I guess the studios know, and they just do the same thing. That's always strange.
I just don't feel like that. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I understand the form of like, you know, like competition or something, but it's still like, I don't know.
Carlos,
Is it like
what's
a
up?
form of measuring dicks? Like, is that what it's for?
No, I don't
This
know.
movie was the best? Like, I don't get it.
Well, a lot of it has to do with the origins of the story, the fact that Disney had the rights to those stories for a long time.
Yeah.
And then now they don't. So anybody can create that story, and they're going to compete with who's going to do a better version of the story.
Yeah, but why would you do it when there's another one that is being made pretty well?
Well, because
coming
more
out
than likely,
as well.
it's like, for example, Disney is I hate to say this because I worked with them, comprised of a bunch of asses, and they probably heard that the movie was coming. You know, they were producing the movie when they're trying to go through investors, and Disney said, "Oh, really? Well, let's cut them off at the pass. We have the money," and they come out and release it beforehand.
They're like, hell no, we're gonna be first, bitches. There, take that.
That's right.
What are you guys talking about? So I could.
The Jungle Book. Look, we're gonna Rugs. You good now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, we're gonna continue.
Wait,
We're
did
gonna
you go to the bathroom?
I think he did.
I initially was gonna go take a piss, but then something else happened.
Sometimes it's hard to control the muscles. You know, one
Yeah.
thing gets confused with the other
Sweets.
thing.
Something I did not plan for happened.
Mm-hmm.
This happens a lot to me, by the way.
He's just made of felt, people. It's not his fault.
Yeah, I'm not really wired well.
He's got
In fact, it probably just leaks through
felty
the
incontinence.
when he tries to hold it in.
Hey, listen, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. That's all I have to say.
Send Rug Boy coupons for cotton balls. It'll help him out.
Yeah, lace them with Imodium, please.
He needs cotton balls dipped in Imodium.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna continue where we left off. Carlos, thanks for popping in.
All right.
And now back to our regularly scheduled Jock and Nerd podcast, where we were talking about the Flash. So, Rugs, Zoom. What do we know about Zoom?
He's Hunter Zolomon.
He's Hunter Zolomon. He started on Life as Earth 2 as Hunter Zolomon.
Yes.
But he became a serial killer, killing 23 people, which is a big number. And then he got his powers while he was in an insane asylum.
Yeah, because that's when the explosion happened.
That's right when he was getting shock therapy. The particle accelerator explodes and only gives him powers, nobody else. And then he decides. This is the part that was confusing. He decides to make up the name Jay Garrick and be a superhero just for fun. He's like, I just thought it would be fun to be a monster or something, or fun to play a hero, but he's really a monster. This part, I did. What was going on?
I don't know. They didn't really do a good job of explaining it. It would have been cool if they would have been like, I had an epiphany, I got these powers, maybe God gave them to me, and I wanted to use them to do good. And then eventually the old me just kept creeping back and I couldn't fight it off any longer.
Yeah, when all he says is Velocity 9 is killing me, and I just need your power, Barry, and I'll do whatever it takes. I liked a couple when we learned about Hunter Zolomon and serial killer. I love the line where Wells 2 was like, oh, it was a big story. There was a podcast about it. And I was like, what?
Oh, shit.
There's podcasts on Earth too, which led me to think that there's probably a version of the Serial podcast or on Earth 2 about Hunter Zolomon, about Zoom. I want to hear that.
There's probably a Nerd and Jock podcast.
So there's a Nerd and Jock podcast, and there's what would be Earth 2 Rug Boy?
It'd be like Carpet Boy.
It'd be like Curtain Girl. No, it'd be Curtain Girl instead of the rug.
Oh, okay.
Curtain Girl.
Okay. Lame.
It's horrible. So they do a whole chase, and he eventually leads Zoom. They set a trap for him, and they take him down with cardboard cutouts of his parents.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was
Did
probably I was so mad. I'm like, dude, this is the stupidest thing ever. That they're able to pop these things out faster than that guy can run at the speed of light, practically.
So they do the CGI, slow-mo running. Some of it was good, some of it was really bad. But yeah, this guy can run at the speed of light, but you can pop out a cardboard cutout of his mom and it'll stop him in his tracks. So that was hilarious. Barry puts the boot on his leg and they have a nice little confrontation finally. Unmasked, and then he's all like, you can't lock in the darkness, and just fucking vibrates out of everything and takes off. They can't find him. He steals Wally. Now, he puts Wally, this part was confusing too, he puts Wally in the cage with the Man in the Iron Mask, right? So you see the Man in the Iron. Is that on Earth too?
Yeah.
Okay, so he goes back and forth really quickly, because then he's back. He wants to do a trade. He's going to trade Wally West for Barry Speed, right?
Yeah.
So inexplicably, Barry says yes. And I was like, really? I was like, okay, maybe they're setting something up. He lets Wally go. Wally gets away. Wally's gone. He's safe. They're all pointing guns at Zoom. Yet they do nothing. They still give him fucking Barry Speed.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? Just fucking shoot him.
How dare you do this to us?
Why are you just standing there, dude?
Well, they need to go to the next leave you with a cliffhanger. That's what it is.
And we find out more of his backstory. He explains. So explain to me this. He explains that the Jay Garrick we knew, or at least the Jay Garrick we saw die by Zoom, was a time remnant that he pulled from an alternate timeline and convinced himself to die for this plan when he would also want the same plan. Like, this was messy. It was like the Eobard Thawne thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really get behind this thing when it's so confusing. I just was like kind of watching it in the background at some point. I started like picking up my phone and reading it.
Well, look, they have a bunch of these time holes, I like to call them, which are time plot holes, time holes that they could just throw in there and be like, oh yeah, he was just a time remnant. It doesn't matter. It's not going to affect me in the past or the future. It's a separate fucking thing. Whatever.
But when they were in the Earth 2 jail, and the guy was trying to get him to in the mask was saying they asked him, who are you? He said Jay.
He taps out Jay, so they ask him point blank, who's the guy in the mask? And of course they tease us some more by having Zoom say, oh, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. I think it's the original Jay Garrick. How many fucking are there like 2 Jay Garricks, 2 Hunter Zolomons, or is there only 2 Hunter Zolomons and a Jay Garrick? Or what the fuck is going on?
I don't know. Maybe Jay Garrick is actually Hunter Zolomon on Earth 1.
Well, so the Berlanti, or one of the producers, came out and said to clear the air, they said, we will not make Jay Garrick a villain. So the real Jay Garrick will be a hero. And he's like, he pretty much just said, don't worry, just keep watching. Which of course
So he's got to be the guy in the mask.
I think he's the guy in the mask. I think that's the actual Earth 2 Jay Garrick or something. God, it's so confusing. But they do another stupid thing, and it just keeps going. Like, I didn't like the ending because they give him the speed. He's about to kill Barry. Caitlin talks him out of it, and then he just runs off with Caitlin. Which, that didn't make sense. And I was like, really? But it's just weird that they had this big confrontation so early, so soon before there's still like 3 or 4 episodes left. So it just seemed kind of odd.
I don't know. I thought it was a very odd episode. It took a little bit of the wind of Zoom sails for me. Like, I feel like he's not as strong of a character now.
Yeah, I gotta agree. It demystified it and just kind of made him. It almost made him like, again, bad for no reason, just cause.
Yeah.
Carlos says Zoom has to die. One of the Zooms has to die. Speaking of dying, people dying, Ruggs, let me ask you this. An article just came out talking about some of the characters we may see in the Flash movie. The DCEU movie, they're casting for these characters. They're casting for an Iris West. They're casting for an Eobard Thawne. They're casting for a character named Fred Shire, who in the comics was a Keystone City Police. They're casting for a Leonard Snart, and they're casting for a Jay Garrick. Now, my question is this. We saw an Arrow. They killed off Amanda Waller. They killed off Deadshot. Now we got a Suicide Squad movie with those characters.
Yeah.
Are they going to kill these characters, or are they just going to have them exist separately in the separate multiverses?
I don't know. I think that they're not gonna get rid of the Flash.
They can't get rid of the Flash, but Snart and Jay Garrick and Iris West, it's gonna get confusing.
Nah. I mean, do you think that people have to carry that over to the TV show to the movies?
No, they don't, but we talked about how, you have a perfect Flash. Why are you recasting it? But all this DC stuff exists in multiverses. So I just thought that was interesting.
You think Marvel would do that?
No, Marvel would keep it. They would keep everything together.
You think that if they got a shot at a Daredevil movie, they wouldn't use Charlie Cox?
Oh, snap.
Like, what if they got a bigger name? What if Leonardo DiCaprio wanted to do it?
See, I feel like the DCEU can get away with that quicker than Marvel can, because the way they've set it up in the MCU, these are the same people, Or maybe they would. I don't know. That would be weird.
Because Netflix is not even on, it's not even on network TV.
That's true.
It's not even on Disney's channel, which is 7 or ABC. Or whatever.
How crazy would it be that if they have another guy playing Daredevil in the movie and another guy playing Daredevil on the Netflix shows, but they're the same character, but they're 2 different people. But the continuity crosses up with that. No, that wouldn't make any sense. That's retarded.
Lame.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, this was I liked the beginning of this episode. It made my head hurt, but then the way it ended got me very frustrated.
It's weird because you have canon that's established like in a comic book, and then the movies ignore it. Then you have canon that's established in a TV show, and then the movies are going to ignore it. So the movies never do anything they're supposed to do. And this is the thing that bothers me. There's a whole generation of kids that think that the movies are canon.
Right. They think that's where it started, and they're like, why are these comic books all different?
Yeah.
We're just going to have to see where they're taking this Flash. It was, like I said, good episode until the end, because I was just excited to see them face off with the Zooms.
I'm really feeling fatigued with all these shows, to tell you the truth. Like, I don't remember a lot of them because I seriously just pick up my phone and just start fucking around.
Well, if they can't hold your attention, then that's telling, Ruggs. I mean, you have a felty mind, so it really takes quite a good piece of fiction to hold the Rug Boys' attention. Let me tell you what.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get to the next show then.
Prepare to be spoiled.
Here's some more time travel fuckery, listener and Ruggs, to make your head hurt. I'm talking about this week's episode of Legends of Tomorrow, season 1, episode 11, Last Refuge. This is another one that if you think about it too much, you're like, wait a minute, wait, what? But you can't. So we're not going to spend too much time on it.
It's really stupid.
It's you know what? I did appreciate at least we're getting more character. It was kind of character driven. We learned some more. Why? Because the pilgrims chasing them. The younger selves, their younger selves, they got to go through time and save their younger selves because she has one chance to kill you in the past.
It's like Terminator logic.
She was a time travel Terminator, which I like that she was like a female Terminator, but like we didn't really get to learn a lot about her. She was just kind of showing up.
If Ray Palmer was a badass, that fight would have lasted 2 seconds because he would have just shrunk and flew up her nose, and that's it. Just punched her in the brain, and that would be over.
With the Katie Lotz White Canary fighting her, like that was a kind of a cool battle.
Yeah,
cool. They were well matched.
I like that. Like at one point, you know, this lady Terminator, what's her name in the show? The Pilgrim. She comes down and she goes going after them in their youth, and she goes after like a teenage Katie Lotz, White Canary, and then White Canary busts in front of herself and starts kicking this Pilgrim's ass.
Yeah,
and the whole time you're like wondering when, you know, young Sarah Lance is gonna recognize that that's her.
She looks exactly like her, yet she's like, who are you? And why do you look like me? But one more, like, speaking of the Terminator, I did love Ray going, come with me if you want to live. Oh, I always wanted to say that.
He's referencing it, obviously.
But this is the problem because Mick also meets his younger self and kind of gives his self a pep talk. And, but isn't this paradoxical? I guess the point is they're going to erase their memories and return them right where they got them so that it doesn't alter the timeline. But this whole universe, like the Flash, the time rule is that time is soft and takes time to set. So I kind of like that now they're racing against their own existence. Like they have to catch Savage real quick and get their younger selves back before time sets and nobody remembers they were even around.
I don't think that's
like Jello.
That time sets. I don't think time shouldn't set.
It's very convenient and it works well when you got to write yourself out of a hole. I loved it. What did you think of that last fight scene that was Matrix-y, where they were all attacking at once?
Wait, it doesn't make sense that time sets.
That's what he says. He said time is soft.
Time's not soft because time is, let's say we're alive now, but the world's been around for billions of years. That should have been set already. We can't go back and change it then. The whole show was pointless.
But it shouldn't. So you're saying Rip taking them younger selves out of the timeline right there would change stuff unless you return them at the same point, which they haven't done yet.
That's it.
But before they do, it's changing the current time stream continuum because like they picked up Stein's wife and she didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
So unless they take them right back where they got them, but even if time sets, if they take them back, it should be fine. You're right. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Just think about it. The minute that they yanked them out of there, everything would have been changed.
It should be over because you stopped it.
Yes.
Oh my God. Time. Jesse Looney says time is like Jello. Watch it wiggle, see it jiggle. That's good. I like that. A couple other things I liked about
thought he
this.
said time is like J-Lo.
J-Lo. Time is like a J-Lo from the
Watch
hood.
it jiggle, watch it wiggle.
That's that would apply to J-Lo also.
Absolutely.
I love some of the heartfelt moments like Jax meeting his father. I thought that was well done. I thought the guy who played Jax handled it. But now he fucked the time up too. He fucked up the time stream. He told his father about when he dies.
He's like, don't die.
He's like, just keep an eye out at Mogadishu. So this is going to come to bite him in the ass at some point. He can't do that. You can't. But then Rip is like, well, sometimes time wants to happen. Well, which one is it, Rip? Is time soft like Jello, or does time just want to happen? What the fuck?
It's convenient bullshit. It's like, okay, right now I'm going to say this to get the plot to move.
It's the most incompetent time master ever.
Move the plot writing. Exhibit A.
We get to see Heatwave's origin, sort of, I thought of, where he accidentally burns his house down with his family inside. That was kind of dark. It got dark, and he's like, I know you didn't. You ran, and Rip gives him a talking to, and young Rip goes, "You sound like my father." And I was like, wow, but didn't this affect him too? The way he grew up?
Yeah, the minute that they talked, the timeline should have changed.
We learned Rip Hunter's real name is Michael. And I love that last scene where everything was frozen. She had him all frozen, and a little powerless younger version of Rip Hunter just stabs her in the leg with a big smile on his face, like he's so proud. And then they blast her, and she's just like done. It's all powder.
He's like, I was a cut purse.
He was a cut purse, which must be like, what is that? That's somebody who cuts for purses.
It's like a purse snatcher.
An old pickpocket. He's a little juvenile delinquent, Rip Hunter was. So we got a lot of character stuff from a couple of people. You got to see Detective Lance with hair from the 90s. But this Ray Kendra romance, again, boo.
Lame.
Why you want to get married? You're fucking time travelers. None of this makes sense. His fucking dead fiance is there who's alive from the past. And he's still like, I want to get married? I was like, really? That's all. I don't like that part. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's such a forced relationship. And you know, they sped through it in 2 years that we didn't see off camera. So it's nothing, there's nothing there.
Yeah, Jesse Looney says, I just turned my brain off when I watched that show. And it's entertaining. And sometimes I can't turn my brain off. And I'm like, really?
Jesse,
really?
My brain is always off.
Its brain never went on. Look, moving forward now, well, Vandal, there's still the Vandal Savage thing, but now it's like, it feels a little bit more urgent because of this whole time not setting. They got to fight for their existence, return themselves, finish this whole thing. I hope this Savage thing doesn't continue into next season. I hope they just wrap this up. It's enough with the Savage. That's a good one. Carlos says he wants to see Hawkgirl make love with her wings. I'm okay with that. I think that could be fun in the air. A little air sex. You never seen that before.
I see birds do it all the time.
Birds having mid-air sex.
Yeah.
So that's your Legends of Tomorrow, gang. One final show. Let's get to it.
Doc and Nerd.
Bro, do you even podcast?
Spoiler alert.
Okay, this is the show that Rug Boy doesn't watch, but I watch, so I don't know what I'm going to do. It's this week's Fear the Walking Dead, the second season of the second episode of the second season, titled We All Fall Down. As in, Ring Around the Rosie.
Who dies?
Pocket full of posies. Well, someone dies, but you meet them on the show, and then they die.
So it's not a main cast member.
Now, remember, this is what happens. They're to escape from the boat that's chasing them. They find this little island. They find Katrina Island. And the log book they found, it says San Diego is gone. It's burnt. So they're going to hide in this island because they think this boat has like a 50 caliber machine gun that's chasing them. Nobody knows. And it's nighttime, and there's a house there, and a light kind of suddenly goes on. And they go and they meet this family called the Gearys. It's a husband and wife and 3 kids, an older kid and 2 little kids, right? So Strand and Ophelia and Salazar stay on the boat. The rest of the team goes and says hi. They approach them. They appear to be nice. What's cool about this episode, Ruggs, is you find out a lot about what happened in the country. So there's actual information. Basically, the military has napalmed the whole West Coast. He's like Vancouver, San Francisco, Oregon, the whole West Coast is gone. He's like up to the Continental Divide. I've lost communications. He's saying half the country is gone. Millions and millions of people. George and Travis kind of bond. They have a beer. We meet this. There's something off about this family because Nick goes to the little kid's room. The little kid has a bunch of action figures set up. Except the action figures all have red dots right in the middle of their forehead. And he's like, hey, what's that? He goes, oh, that's what happens to you now when you get sick. And he's named these action figures like after his relatives. He's like, that's Uncle Bob. That's Aunt Ann. And he's like, now when you get sick, that's what happens. And he goes, but that's not going to happen to me. I have power pills. And it's very creepy. And Nick is just like nervously laughing. He goes, I don't know what that is. And I thought he was talking about like vitamins. Like, my dad's telling me to stay healthy, to stay alive. But that's not what's going on. Turns out this dude, George, he's very, look, this island, there's zombies washing up on shore, and there's a couple of 100 zombies over there, but he's locked them out. George is very connected to his land. Nick rummages around, he finds a bunch of pills, and he goes, dude, I think this asshole's gonna Jonestown his whole family. George wants them all to die there on their time, on their land. But the wife is like, will you take my kids with you? The 2 little kids. She's like, I have MS. She's dying. Take my little kids. Of course, shit happens. The little girl, Willa, gets into the power pills. She dies, turns into a zombie, bites the mom. And they try to take the kid with them on the boat. And of course, Strand is like, who the fuck is this kid? Get him off my boat.
Yeah.
But their older brother, Seth, who's a little bit wacky, and he's kind of like the father, he comes, grabs the kid, and as they're leaving, they see their mom is now zombied and walking towards the pier. They see him shoot his own mom, and they leave the kid on this island to keep going wherever the fuck they were going. I don't know where they're going. Oh, in the meantime, Salazar, he's awesome. He picks a lock into the safe where Strand is keeping shit, and he finds a machine gun and maps to Mexico. And while he's doing that, Strand is on the phone. He's like, can you push it back to sundown? I'm on my way. I'll be there. He's talking to someone on the fucking phone, on a cell phone. I thought all the cell phone lines would be down, which that doesn't make any sense. So maybe, I think he's like a drug dealer. Strand and Salazar, those 2 guys are amazing on the show. When they're together, their scenes are great. I think maybe Strand's like a drug dealer and he's trying to get to Mexico. So they're headed to Mexico with not with the kid.
It sounds interesting, but
stuff happens.
It sounds I can't take 2 Walking Dead shows. I just can't. Like, Walking Dead stresses me out. And then I finally get past the season. Game of Thrones is coming on. It's gonna be direct competition with Fear the Walking Dead. And I'm sorry, but Fear the Walking Dead can't even lick the ass of Game of Thrones.
No, it can't. So I was just glad they were off the boat because I was really afraid they were going to be on the boat for a long time. So look, I don't know if we're going to talk about this, Rugs. If you're out, you might be right. Maybe we'll just catch up when the season ends. I don't know.
I don't really think I'm missing it. I don't really feel like I'm missing out on anything.
It's like I think I'm watching just because I love the brand out of obligation. But it's not giving us what this brand should be giving you.
Yeah, I mean, plus we already have a good zombie show.
There was walkers in this one, so yeah, I don't know. You're right. What about Preacher though? Will you be on board with Preacher once we see it?
Yes, I will watch Preacher.
All right, Jesse Looney's right. We'll do a season wrap up for Fear the Walking Dead moving forward. I'll try to keep up with it. I don't know if it gets interesting. It's still really slow. And just get to where you're going. It needs a little bit more action, something. I don't know.
Like, I think you can't, I said this already, you can't do the same thing and with lesser characters. Like, you don't have as Rick and all these guys are so much better.
Yeah.
Like, even right off the bat, even in the first season, they were better. You know what I mean? And so these guys haven't been that great yet.
But that's true. Those characters started with the zombie apocalypse already happening, but it's just frustrating to watch these people actually, get accustomed to and start figuring this out, which they are, but they could have figured it out. I would love more just an adventure show. If this was like an adventure show. Yeah.
There's no one you can really cheer for in this. There's no badass to get behind, really. Except for maybe Strand.
Strand and Salazar are my favorite standouts so far. All right, look, I'll keep watching. Like, Anthony stopped watching Supergirl. So, we were the only 2. I'm the only asshole watching everything that you guys are watching now. So, this show me and him were watching and you didn't watch. Whereas Supergirl, me and you were watching and he wasn't watching. Listener, let us know what you think about Fear the Walking Dead. Send us a tweet at Jock and Nerdcast. All right, let's get to some show news and we'll wrap it up.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody. If you're in the blab, we're going to hang out for a little bit. Once we end the main show, we're going to open it up to you guys. Listermate says Fear of the Walking Dead sounds more and more like Stephen King's The Stand every time we talk about it. Yeah, it's not. Like I said last week, it's not nearly as good as The Stand's awesome. I would love to see they did that on TV. Do it again. Make another one.
Yeah.
Look, I want to shout out some of the awesome networks we're on. Like we said, Weeby Geeks. We were recently on one of their shows. We will be on Weeby Geeks episode 166. I'll link to the show notes once that show goes out. But check out their network. There's tons of great geek shows, including ours. Thank you to Tangent Bound Network, A Place to Hang Your Cape. And we are now live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m., Geek Life Radio. It's 24/7 Geek Stream Radio. You can find it at geekliferadio.com. There's tons of great shows there. So check all those out. I got to say thank you to our badass Blab assistant, Jordan Radford, for working the extra box here with our logo and images. And she's our BABA. And Ruggs, she has left us a great review on the iTunes. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yes. Here's what she says. 5 stars. I love these guys. There's so much that I could say about these guys, but bottom line, they are awesome. I stumbled on their blab a while back and was hooked ever since. Imran is so lively and brings a good spirit to the show. Anthony is super witty and knows exactly what to say. And Rug Boy is the perfect balance of knowledge and humor.
Geekerific.
I've always been a little geeky myself, but not so much in comics. And just from being involved with them the last few months or so, I've learned so much about the comic book culture. I'm so glad that I stumbled upon them. Such a great podcast and one that I look forward to every week. Love your guys. Your BABA, Jordy. That is such a great review, Jordan. Thank you so much. And it's great how, look, she I mean, it's absolutely true. She discovered us here. Blabs helped us get to more listeners, and she's helping us out. It's like our listeners giving back. We love it when you interact, help out. Let us know what you think. You guys, we have a lot of cool merch also. Just want to mention, check out jockandnerd.com shop. You can get yourself a cool coffee mug like this that I'm holding up. Also, I'm wearing one of our shirts on red.
Whoa.
jockandnerd.com/shop. You can put a logo on anything, hoodies, tank tops. Wait till you see what Anthony bought. It's going to be stupendous. I'm not going to spoil it. You have to wait till next week.
Is it going to be Jock and Nerd undies?
No, but you're close. I don't think we sell those yet. Jock and Nerd jock straps. Oh, that's a good one. I should put that in the pipeline. Check it out. jockandnerd.com/shop. If you want to contact the show, just visit jockandnerd.com/contact. There's lots of ways you can say hi to us. There's a form on that page. Our Facebook. We also have a Facebook group. Review the show if you want to help us out, because just like Jordan did there, when somebody's looking for podcasts, just like on Amazon, Ruggs, you shop on Amazon. What do you look at when you look at a product? You look at the user reviews.
That's right.
You want to know what people think. Is this podcast worth my time? And I tell you, if you scroll on down our reviews, like it's so nice to read it. And like you have to want to listen. So, listener, help us, help you spread the word. Spread the word. I messed up that cue. I'm going to try this again. Spread the word, Jock and Nerd, by leaving us an awesome review on iTunes or Stitcher or whatever you're on. But you can go to jockandnerd.com/review. It'll take you right to the iTunes page. Ruggs, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at ReallyRugBoy, where you can have a conversation with me about anything you want. And you'll probably see me tweet stupid random shit throughout the day.
Let us know if you want us to sell Rug Boy condoms in our online shop.
If you want them, I'll model them in my own image. Have a Rug Boy face on the head of your penis going.
They'll be shaped like Rug Boy. And who doesn't want that? That's the sexiest thing ever. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Listen, if you like what you hear, just tell everyone you know. Tell every single person you meet. Tell them to go to jockandnerd.com. It's not hard.
Do you podcast? I say that a lot. Do you do podcast?
Do you even podcast?
Do you even podcast, bro? Give him one of those and then give him one of these. Jock and Nerd. Listen, spread the word. Jock and Nerd. That we would love it. That's all we ask in return for giving you all of this geekiness.
Did we say everything that we need to say, Imran?
Yes, we did. Thanks for listening.
Did we talk about Patreons?
I will. We have a virtual tip jar. Here's what I'm doing. They will have already heard a Patreon commercial because I cut them in to every show.
Oh.
So, listener in the feed, you will have heard a commercial about Midway for the Patreons, which is our virtual tip jar. You get bonus audio if you want to support us as little as $1 a month, just visit jockanerd.com/Patreon. And there's a nice little page on our website explaining what Patreon is, how you can help out. And thanks to all our patrons. Hope you're enjoying the bonus content. We'll be putting up more weekly, monthly. Check it out. You guys, that's it. That's it for this week's edition of the Jock and Nerd podcast. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for spending time for picking this podcast, Ruggs. Don't you appreciate it?
Yeah, guys, I'm so happy you guys tuned in. And you got to get more people to do it too. So we have more people to talk to, more people to be included on this conversation, like David Zika and Jesse Looney. And even this guy Carlos, who was just here.
Carlos and Cosmo Fox is here, and Tony Listermaid is here, and you were there, and you were there. It's just like the end of Wizard of Oz. David, by the way, he did join our Facebook group. Good for you.
Nice. I need to get on Facebook at some point.
We'll figure it out. But for right now, we're gonna shut it down and open it up for you blabbers. This has been the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
And my name is Rugberto Bambino.
He's the Rug Boy.
And he's the nerd.
We'll catch you next time.
Woo!
Geek-orific. Jock-tastic.
Who cares? A jock said that.
Rug Boy approved.
Jock and Nerd. Yahoo, everybody. Here's Jesse Looney. Ruggs, talk to Looney. I'll be right back. I gotta take a break. I gotta take a
Great time.
I'll be right back. You guys keep it going.
How's it going?
What's up, Jesse? You been busy?
Oh yeah, I've been working hard all day long.
Your room looks different now. What happened?
Oh well, last week my roommates decided to tell me that they were moving to Portland, so they're packing everything up and I'm moving.
You're moving or they're moving?
Minute?
They're moving and I'm moving because I'm not going to live in this big house by myself. So I'm going to get a smaller apartment.
Oh, nice.
They just told you that like last minute?
Oh, well, 2 weeks ago. It's been 2 weeks now that they're putting in their 30-day notice.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quite the little bomb, but, it happens.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh.
Yep.
So do you have any prospects?
Yeah, I have an apartment that should be coming open on the 15th of next month. So,
neato.
Yeah, it's not bad. And then they finally reached a settlement with the Volkswagen, and so it looks like I'll be trading in my Jetta for a new car. And so they're offering, the settlement says that they're giving everybody $5,000 cash, and then we have the option to either keep the car and they'll fix the emissions chip, or they'll buy the car back. So I'm going with buy the car back because I don't want to get stuck with a car that I can't sell later on down the road.
Well, you know what? I'm happy that they even did anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everybody kept telling me, oh, you're going to get screwed in the deal. They always screw the little guy in the end. And so I'm happy. It looks like, from what I've been talking with the dealership that I bought my car with, it looks like they're more likely going to pay us the price that we purchased the vehicle at. So with no depreciation.
You guys, this is our current foster puppy. His name is Galahad.
Ooh.
He's 6 months old. He's got a home. We're taking him up to Wisconsin, but oh my God, he is so soft and he's so awesome.
Cute.
Just a little cuddle buddy. He's just a great guy. I wanted him to say hi. Okay.
Aren't dogs the best?
They really are.
They're better than people.
Yeah, they are. If they judge you, you don't understand how they're judging you. So,
well, they'll still even if they don't like you, they're still nice to you. Unless they bite you or something. Like for the most part, if you have a normal dog and he doesn't like you, just leave. And whenever you walk into the room, they'll just leave. That'll be it.
I got bit in the face. Last summer.
By a dog?
Yeah.
What happened?
Okay, here's the story. So we foster dogs, right? We've gone through like 30 dogs so far. We've moved them all, and usually they're vetted for us. So they pick a good dog with a good demeanor that'll help. Now, there was this one dog. His name was Oscar, and
He's a bit grouchy.
he was a big grouchy, and he was a Beagle Basset Hound, right? But the way this dog came to us, the first guy that had this dog, he had like a heart attack and had to go to the hospital, right? So the dog needs to find another home. So he goes to this lady's home. This lady driving around, she gets T-boned in the intersection, accident. So now the dog needs another home. So I'm hearing about this, and my wife's telling me this. I'm like, this fucking dog is not good luck. I was just joking. This is an unlucky dog. So we get Oscar. He's fine. He showed a little food aggression, but I thought me and him were going to be buddies. We were getting to be buddies. And one day we're sitting on the sofa, like I'm here, and my wife's sitting next to me, and the dog is laying down with his head on closer to her. And I had leaned down kind of to give him a kiss on the head, right? But I kind of did that thing where I was coming behind his periphery of vision a little bit, not thinking. Next thing I know, my face is in the dog's mouth.
Oh, shit.
He had turned and snapped, and I was like, my face is in the dog's mouth. And so we pulled him off, and I thought he had ripped my lip off.
Yeah.
Right away, I put a bunch of ice on it, and I needed 11 stitches. And
Wow.
if I ever shave my mustache off, you're going to see a scar there. But
Wow.
this dog, the thing is, I think this dog there's something wrong with the dog in the head, and had it not bit me, and we actually found it a home with kids, it would have bit some fucking kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
true.
So what happened to the dog?
The dog is no longer with anybody. You can't. The dog's got a bite history. It's not adoptable. It's not, and as many dogs as we've moved, it's hard sometimes. But sometimes, if it's psychological, you just got to remove a problem.
Damaged goods.
Exactly. It's damaged goods. You got to. No amount of training, money you throw at this dog is going to help. And at that point, it's not easy, dude. I was in the emergency room, like bawling. I was like, I just killed this dog. Like, this dog is my fault. But I just keep thinking, if it wasn't me, he would have bit a kid. He would have bit someone else. We kind of weeded him out.
Well, listen, you did the right thing, Imran.
When I was a teenager, I had a dog. His name was Bear. He was pit bull and golden lab mix.
Oh wow!
And I raised this dog from a puppy. He was the best dog I ever known, and he saved my life once with a pack of dogs that the neighbor's dogs were coming after me, and he stood them down. And I love this dog to death. And one day he was playing with my sister's cats, and like dogs play with them, so he was killing them.
Yeah.
So my sister come out, and she was like 9 or 10 at the time, and she yelled at my dog, and my dog turned and nipped at her and almost bit her. And so I had to put him down. I won't have a dog that bites people.
No, that's the thing. But it does. Is it training, or is the dog is just not? It's past help. Like, it's so hard.
Sometimes, sometimes it's like they can't help it. Like, sometimes it's just like something psychological there.
They snap.
But it's genetic. Some of it's genetic because this dog, I never beat him. He never was in a place where he would have been a violent dog. But pit bulls have, and I found this out later on, that they will imprint on 1 to 2 people that they will deem them as masters, and they will lay down their life for. Anybody else, they will just tolerate.
Wow.
And
yeah.
So if you she was like going up and trying to take his food, and so he deemed her a threat, even though she had been around him since he was a puppy.
Hey, Joe.
It's just I can't have dogs that bite people. I like good.
Hey, Jordan, you know this guy? Hey, Joe. I was gonna say hi, Joe. Thanks for the props, and thanks for checking out the
Joe actually hangs out on Blab here and has his own podcast here on Blab as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. What's that called? We'll have to find out about that. But wait, sticking with the dog thing, because Cosmo Fox says it's something you have to train constantly. Now we have fostered some pit bulls, And you know, I believe that the perception of pit bulls is off. Like I know a lot of friendly, cuddly pit bulls. Now they have huge heads and they are all muscle. So I could see how you would be intimidated, but they're very friendly. But
I wouldn't take a chance with that.
But
Pit
that's what
bulls-
I'm saying. Despite the nature, despite nurture, despite constantly training, do they all have a possibility to snap? No matter
Well,
what.
pit bulls were originally a nanny dog. They were used to like take care of children, to be some like protection. So you like Jesse said, I can see that to where they imprint on a couple of people, and that's who they have. That's pretty much their ride or die, and everybody else is just tolerated. So,
Right.
and especially if they're raised to take care of certain children or a small group of people, then I can see that definitely being the case.
But even
yeah, go ahead.
There's cases like when, let's say, you have a coughing fit or something, the dog just misreads it, and even if it's trying to do something good, like it gets worried about you, it'll bite you, and then when a pit bull bites you, it's like almost instant death all the time, or you get mangled.
You get strong jaws.
Yeah.
Sometimes the dogs that bite you, it's just it's situational. It's whatever, because there's a lot of dogs that are very possessive of their food or just very skittish in certain situations. Like, for example, Avia, my small dog I just had, the white one, I can do whatever I want to her. Her personality allows me to love on her, hug her, cuddle her, whatever. Luna, my Australian Shepherd, her personality, she likes her space. She doesn't like to be held. She doesn't like to be hugged on. She likes to be petted and, stuff, and she'll give you love. But if you squeeze her, or if you get on top of her, or if you do anything like that, she'll growl at you, and she won't snap, but she kind of like shows her teeth.
Wow.
So it's kind of a personality thing too.
I think,
and it depends on what you're doing.
I think some of that is also nurture, because when we had our dog Joplin when she was young, we made it a point to always touch her ears and her paws and get her used to people touching her face. And literally, I could poke Jop in the face and like bite her, and she does nothing. She goes to the vet. He sticks her, no reaction. Like we just got her so used to everything.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Well,
and I raised my dogs the same way, because when I had Avia first, and so when I got Luna, I tried to raise Luna the right way, but Luna learned things quicker. So if she had any kind of trauma in some ways, like when she was a puppy, she got dropped. So then she no longer wanted to be held anymore. She got kind of jumped on by a larger dog. So now she doesn't like it when people kind of get on her, jump on her, hold her down. She hates being in the car, because when she was a puppy, I got in a wreck with her. So it's just like those kind of environmental things she really latched onto, and she's a little bit of a skittish dog now because of it.
Yeah, well, and a lot of times people don't realize our mannerisms that we do when you smile at a dog, you're showing your teeth, and that's an aggressive stance to a dog. That's meaning I want to go for it. We had a German Shepherd that, my sister could climb on, pull his ears, yank on his tail, and he would just sit there and take it. And then when one of us older boys would roughhouse with him, he would play a little rougher. So he knew the difference between someone small and someone big. And it was like a lot of it, German Shepherds are more even temperamented. They can take, like you said, if you touch them and you do stuff to them when they're little, then they grow to like that.
Yeah.
But I was always taught you don't smile at strange dogs you don't know.
But you do. I feel like you have to make eye contact. Like you have to acknowledge them. In fact, they look at your eyes when you smile. If the eyes are slits, like that's kind of, it calms them down. Listen, this fostering dogs has been an incredible education. Like the 20, 30 dogs we've had, a couple of things I learned. One of the tricks I do is I will literally just ignore the dog for like a week. I won't look at it. I won't pressure it. I won't say hi until the dog comes to me. Some of the trickier dogs. And then when the dog is ready and it comes to you, it's like your best friend. Like, you don't have to do anything because you let it come to you when you were ready.
Now, what do you do when a dog barks all the time, though?
You have to kind of then take an alpha.
Like, what if he barks at you? Like, let's say you bring a dog into your house.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't like you. He starts barking at you.
Well, you gotta look at the body language. You gotta determine, you gotta look at the tail, what it's doing. You gotta try to see if you can stand up and just kind of square up and be tall and be a kind of stand your ground. The dog might feed off of that. It really depends on the whole situation,
Well, and dogs are pack mentality. So one of the ways to assert your alpha, that you're the alpha male, is make them sit and watch you eat dinner. And once you're done eating dinner, then feed them, because the alpha male always eats first. And then they'll know that you're the alpha and he's not the alpha. And then when you bring a new dog into a household and you have other dogs, he'll initially try to gain alpha status if he's a male dog.
That's funny you say that about eating, because that's the way that Luna is. Because when we eat dinner, she will wait until we are done, and as soon as we are done eating dinner, she will alert us that it's her turn. She'll start whining at us and getting up on our laps and in our faces like, okay, it's my turn. It's ready. I'm ready.
Dude, my dog literally, she rings her fucking dinner dish. Like, she'll pull her dish and just enough to that tips up, and then it goes ding, 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 and shakes around. Like, she's smart, dude. You know what she wants. I swear she could understand English. I think she can. Like, perfect English.
See, I feel like that with Avia too, because Avia, I tell her like, go away, and she'll go away, or like I tell her to go do something, like get a toy, and she knows exactly what I'm talking about, and it could be in the other room, and she'll go get it. Like, it's crazy how much dogs can learn and pick up from you.
Well,
and a lot of it also has to do with like your inflection and things like that too. But sometimes they just know.
And your energy. Like, if you have a calm household, the dog's gonna be calm. If it's always crazy all the time, the dog's gonna be fucking crazy.
And the dogs are tonal, so they don't understand, but they pick up on body language and the tone of your voice.
Inflection.
And so, so if you say bad dog, like, oh, bad doggy, right, they're going to take it as a praise and not as a being put down. And that's why they say when you name a dog, name them single syllable words. You don't want to give them a long name, because they only learn the first syllable as their name. That's why, Jock, Zach, all those kind of single syllable words for names.
So you don't want to name a dog Mr. Wiggle, Smiggle, Smiggle, Smithinson, Shin, French, and son.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, where did Joe go? He has a, what were you saying?
Aloysius.
Aloysius. Like, my dog's name, her name is Joplin, but we go Jop, or she, she responds to Jop.
Yeah.
They learn
Luna would say Lou or Ave.
Yeah, they learn that first syllable as their name. So
you shouldn't name a dog Juan Carlos Phoenix Mark Jimenez. It's a little bit much, I think. The dog is like, wait, were you talking to me?
Juan Carlos Phoenix, Mark Jimenez, Conchita Alonso.
Conchita, that's a Mark Anthony.
Isn't that the guy in Romancing the Stone that had the little mule? Yeah, we're going to ride in my little mule.
Oh shit, bro! I love Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile. Those are great movies.
That's right.
Danny DeVito and fucking Douglas. Hey, where did Joe go? He has the pop. He's the pop Xcast podcast.
Yeah, Lindsay could tell you about it too. She helps them out.
Yeah, I want someone to plug the show.
Lindsay, get on it.
I'll hop on.
But theirs is it's kind of like a comic book, like nerd culture kind of thing, and they cover a wide variety of things.
Jesse Looney, thanks for supporting us on Patreon.
next week, or is it on Sunday? I think that they're gonna do like females in comic books.
Oh, cool.
So they're doing like a whole thing about that. They've done like history of video games and just things like that, covering different kinds of shows. They have different stuff. They have guests that come on too and they talk or whatever.
Oh, it's like super up. Okay, I've watched the show. That sounds really cool. We're actually next week, Ruggs, we're gonna do a show if you're available with Peter Kendall about the Spider Ladies. There's a bunch of non-Peter Parker spider people out there. So we're gonna do a whole show about like non-Peter, and a lot of them are women. Like there's a Silk, there's Spider Gwen, there's Spider Woman, and so Peter Kendall was gonna come on and talk about that a little bit.
I pretty much hate them all.
Here, Jesse Looney joined. You don't like them all, and then it's jockandnerd.com/community to join the Facebook group, which has been it'll grow. You drugs, you don't like any of them? I like them. There's a new title with Miles Morales, just Miles Morales Spider-Man.
That'll
And
do.
there's a Gwen pool. There's a Gwen Stacy Deadpool crossover.
No.
I don't know what's going on there. I really want you to be on the show because it'll be hilarious. Peter Kendall loves these books.
No.
Hey, we got Rugs. We got a question from Niaz Mjad. What do you think of how the Justice League formed in the Batman versus Superman movie? Zane from Zane.
Well,
Jordan, you want to go first?
No,
that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Wrong.
Zane, let me tell you something.
Oh boy, here we go.
It's bad news. It's shoehorned. It was badly done. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I hate to report this to you.
Mishandled. Probably shouldn't have been in the movie. There was no need to fucking shove YouTube videos of people we don't know in the middle of the movie. Maybe if it was a post-credit scene, I could let it go.
Yeah,
but Zane, it doesn't even make sense what's going on. Lex Luthor is looking up and trying to find all of these powered people that supposedly exist.
Yeah.
And he wants to kill them. So why didn't he already kill them? Why is he waiting?
Yeah, I'm going to say what I said last week. It should have never have been in the movie. They should have showed Wonder Woman's file, and that's it. Should have never shown anybody else's.
Carlos likes this movie a little bit. Let's hear it, Carlos.
Well, I like the fact that there were scenes in the comics in the movie, and that's about the extent of that. Kind of like in Star Wars, how I enjoyed the old feeling of the original Star Wars. But then there was all these holes. So that's my extent of that. But, I mean, they haven't explained this part of the story that we're complaining about yet. Why was he researching them? I think he's just trying to find power. He's trying to see where he can find the power from, and probably kind of like the Zoom is taking power from Flash. Maybe he wants to take the power. And
but his whole speech about their gods and their demons and stuff, it doesn't go along with his manifesto. The character is poorly written. You have to at least admit that. It makes no sense. Like his narrative is completely it's nonsensical.
His character to me reminds me of the Lex Luthor of Christopher Reeve, where you had the 3 Kryptonians come to Earth, and he just wanted to say, "Look, I'm your buddy.
Yeah.
You do this, and in return for me handing over Superman, I get this in return." And it may not be exactly to that extent, but I think the thinking process might be the same.
But that was just, it made more sense. It was more clear in that movie. Like, you got it that Lex is
because
slimy,
he laid it out.
And he's playing.
Not only that, but
playing both sides.
We have the previous movie to establish his character as being a slime ball. That's he's living in a subterranean thing. He's really not like a big deal. He's really
but there's a lot of clues that are dropped around. For example, the painting. So they're so subtle though that unless you really think about it, you're not really just saying, "Oh, well, this is where his thought process is coming from." So
but if you're connecting the dots, then you're writing the movie. If you're the one that's connecting the dots, then you're writing the movie. Like there has to be something there to base thoughts on.
Because the dots are across a bunch of movies, kind of like the stones of the Marvel movies. It still hasn't come together to become the Infinity Gauntlet yet, right?
But they explain the stone that it's in question in the one movie. Like, I mean, I'll agree. It's kind of like
but after they had shown some of the stones, though.
Yeah.
They started showing the stones, but there was no real rhyme or reason to it yet until they finally explained it. And even then, the whole actual happening of it hasn't occurred yet. This is just one movie, and the first stone is being shown.
I understand that, but it came off to me like Lex Luthor Okay, obviously this movie is like 4 hours long. They cut it down to 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and I know that if you look in detail, you see the mother box there, and you see that there's something about Darkseid there,
Right.
and there is.
But we know
reference to
that Darkseid can't be the only villain.
Yeah,
He's probably going to be the ultimate villain, just like we know Thanos will be the ultimate villain.
absolutely.
So there's probably going to be a couple movies without even showing Darkseid or just hinting at Darkseid, but there's still going to be these villains because
Understood.
Right. So that's my guess. I mean, obviously I don't know squat, but there has to be a build up, and they have to kind of drop these little.
But like if you're Lex Luthor, okay, just riddle me this, Batman. If you're Lex Luthor, and you're like a super rich guy, and all of a sudden, okay, you realize that at one point, because Superman comes out at the same time the bad aliens come out.
Right.
There's not even Zack Snyder doesn't even set off any kind of rivalry between these two here. Superman appears at the same time a superpowered bad guy appears. He saves the Earth. Yes, there's a lot of damage. Yes, whatever. Yes, he has a lot of power. But then they cut to like 18 months later, and Lex Luthor in 18 months has somehow found every superpowered person, all right, has figured out a plan to destroy Superman, has talked to the other aliens, and this all happens off screen.
It's
correct.
That's poorly written.
It's too he's not a good storyteller. It's too much.
Well, hold on. Wait. First of all, there's a couple of things that are missing. And yes, you're right. We are missing big chunks of the story. Wonder Woman has been around for 200 years or whatever.
Right.
So there is prequel information happening that we haven't seen yet because they decided to start everything at this little battle between good guy and good guy.
Right.
I'm sure there's been a plan for DC, and they were just starting to they're laying something out.
Yes,
but we're just in the beginning process because all the other movies are just a mess, had nothing to do with each other, and so on. Right. So this is like a revamp, kind of like the 52 series or whatever, and we're just hold on. I think Jordan.
Did you see what's saying? That's cute. Look.
By the way, the answer to the question of Spider-Man.
Wait, we're gonna get to that. But look, David Zika dropped a great line on our Facebook page. He goes, "Prediction: Jared Leto will be the best Joker since Jesse Eisenberg." Oh shit! And look, Zika said this, so he's even knows that the movie, his performance is a little bit over the top as the Jesse Eisenberg's. But look. I can't talk about this movie anymore. We have some good questions. Jesse Looney says, did you hear about the new Bill and Ted's movie? They're finally making a fucking third movie. These guys are so old, though. I think Alex Winter needs the work more than anybody in this cast.
Yeah, what do you think they're going to do for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? They're going to go back in time and visit their younger selves?
But they don't have George Carlin as the dude that they need. And
Rufus.
That's right.
That's going to be hard. And would they cast younger selves and go back and try to... Will we get to see Wild Stallions concerts and stuff? Like, did the future happen? Maybe that never happens, and they're just like a bunch of losers, and they're like, what happened? I'll watch it. I love Bill and Ted's, even though the second one was all right.
I mean, Keanu Reeves is just turning 50.
Yeah, that's a old Bill and Ted. Another question by Zane. For all four speakers, which Spider-Man is your favorite? Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield? This is a great question.
Garfield is much better.
Civil War.
Ooh, he said Tom Holland without even seeing him. For me, if you take Tom Holland out, if you squish Andrew and Tobey together, that's the perfect Spider-Man. I liked Tobey's geekiness and insecurity, and I love Garfield's the way he quipped as Spider-Man, and the way he handled his body. So they both now, like we said in the show, I feel like once we see Civil War, Tom Holland's gonna blow everybody away. This is what I'm hearing.
Right.
Tobey was a better Peter. I always thought Andrew Garfield was too good looking to be, nerdy Peter Parker.
Well, but Peter Parker is not.
Yeah.
I have a
He's not-
theory, Imran.
He's not ugly.
Look, I don't think that being a nerd has nothing to do with being ugly.
Yeah, no, that's true.
All right.
That's
when
true.
I was a kid, the
I
ugliest
don't know.
guys,
I'm pretty ugly.
the
Present
ugliest
company at
guys
school?
were football players and baseball players.
They got
There's guys missing teeth. They got all the girls. You could be the best looking guy in the whole school, and no one will see you because you're not playing a sport.
Okay, so maybe I didn't the best looking. I just felt like he carried himself like too secure for the character.
Cocky.
Yeah, of Peter Parker to be kind of unsure of himself.
Maybe.
But I don't know. They both did a
But
really good job.
if I got spider powers, I'd be confident real quick.
Well, that is also true. Like if you knew what I could do, you'd be a little cocky ass. But the whole point is, you got to use the powers
Do
responsibly.
you think he would have cobwebs down there?
Rugs
Cobwebs where? In his asshole?
shooting out, summing out. Cosmo Fox says Bill and Ted's Excellent Retirement Home. Oh, you get one for that. And Tony says, what do you think of the live action Pete's Dragon movie? I haven't seen any of this. I hear there's a poster.
I have seen one kind of like a pre-trailer or something like that. I mean, I'm really enjoying this whole. Let's take the old fairy tale stories and stuff and making them live action.
Well, you got like Huntsman coming out.
The Huntsman, the Jungle Book.
See, I have mixed feelings about it.
Really, like what?
I enjoy these movies. Well, I didn't enjoy the first Jungle Book, but the second one was good. But I enjoy these movies, but I almost am kind of over the whole like redoing movies kind of things. There's just some movies that I just feel like just because you throw live action on it doesn't mean that it's gonna be up to standards.
So my standpoint is the cartoons came out when we were children, or at least when I was a child.
Right.
And now there's a new generation. They're not going to do animation again, and the new kids are not going to be watching the old cartoons.
Yeah,
That's not true. That's not true.
Well, unless we buy them, and that's if they sell them on Blu-ray or whatever.
There's Netflix. There's a lot of them on Netflix.
Do you think kids these days are like the 2D cell animation is just?
I think they're more. I think they're more sophisticated now.
As somebody who taught children and worked in childcare, they love those movies. So many kids, they still love those movies. There's little girls that still want to be Ariel.
Yeah.
There's little girls that still dress up as Cinderella.
Those are classic.
There's still little girls that
They
want
are.
to be Belle and sing like Snow White, even though it's kind of creepy. But like, I mean, that it still exists. The princesses really draw the kids. No matter if they're 2D or live action, I guarantee you they want to be more like the 2D version.
So you don't.
Live action.
So you don't want to see the live action version of Finding Nemo.
That's the thing. That's the mixed thing, though.
Yeah,
It's
watching a
because
fish tank. That's just watching a fish tank.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, we don't want to see a live action of Nemo.
How about the
But,
Brave Little Toaster live action? Jesse Looney.
Oh my god, the brave little toaster.
It's the giant scary toaster, fucking burning everybody.
Nemo versus Jaws.
Here's the thing, though. It's like where do you draw the line with it, though? You're gonna run out of things to do live action for. You're gonna do they're doing Beauty and the Beast. They're doing a Mulan.
They're gonna make shitloads of money. That's the problem. Jungle Book destroyed. Why would they stop now? They can redo all their cartoons live action. But
they tested it with
technology is there to do it.
But I would rather personally have new content, new movies, new ideas.
Zootopia.
Than live actions. Zootopia was fantastic.
That's Disney.
But they tested it out with what's that? Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, on the TV.
And it worked.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, we should do it in movies.
Yeah.
Money. Because Disney is suffering. Disney's not very creative much anymore. They had to buy Pixar to get creativity back into play. And then somebody said, you know what, I can make a live action version of some of your old movies. And they're like, oh. And it's because they own the rights to this stuff.
You think Disney's suffering?
They were before Steve Jobs took over and did certain things. things.
I feel like it's going to get to a point where we're going to be watching a film adaptation of a live action movie of a animated feature adaptation of a live action movie of an animated feature, like several levels deep. They're going to keep recycling this.
Hey, listen,
well, and that's the other thing where the problem comes into play with like the Jungle Book, where this one comes out, and then there's another one next year, and then Tarzan comes out, and then guess what? There's another Tarzan. Like, come on! I that's what I'm saying. I have a mixed feelings because I don't mind seeing them, and I will probably go watch them. But just for me, somebody that grew up in the 90s, I have a big nostalgia thing going on, and I just don't want that to be messed with too much,
Well, okay, so by the same token, I had the same type of nostalgia when I used to watch Spider-Man, and the Super Friend, no, what is it, the Amazing Friends or whatever that was?
Yeah, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, yeah.
And now it's all like live action.
Mm.
And there's been too many live action Spider-Mans.
There's gonna be another one. Ruggs? Have you heard about this? Paramount. You know how everybody wants to get into this franchise, this multi-universe franchise. Paramount. It's taking his Hasbro properties. They want to build a cinematic universe with G.I. Joe, Transformers, Micronauts, and ROM and Mask. Yes. Now, the one thing that gives me about this is literally the toys I played with growing up. It's like you took my toy box and you want to make movies out of them. However, they've already made shitty G.I. Joe movies. They've made shitty Transformers movies. They've made a lot of money.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so what do you think's still on the table from that hasn't been treated? They did a Masters of the Universe movie.
Masters of the Universe,
but it was terrible.
Yeah.
All right, that could use a reboot.
Monopoly movie.
Yeah, I will go to see that.
Yeah, you put that right up with
the guy with the top hat.
You put that with the Three's Company movie.
Thundercats.
Thundercats would be awesome live action.
Thundercats.
Now there was
the Monopoly movie would take 3 hours.
There's a Power Rangers movie coming out.
Yeah, there's Voltron.
Oh wait, let me ask you. You guys,
I've almost been involved in a Thundercats feature.
Are you guys Power Rangers? Did you grow up? Who grew up watching the Power Rangers? Did you? Okay, so did you see Elizabeth Banks as Rita Repulsa?
Yes.
What did you think of that photo?
Here, I think personally, I think she'll do.
Why are people mad that it doesn't look like the ridiculous outfit from the TV show?
I don't think it matters, to be honest.
I thought she looked cool.
I mean,
I thought she looked amazing.
Can I add my 2 cents? All right. If you watch Power Rangers, there's so many fucking versions of him. There's like 1,000 kind of Power Rangers.
Oh, like Voltron kind of?
Yeah, to do it's just like you're going to pick one Power Ranger over another. So it's like there's so much shit to pull from, and they're all like just carbon copies of it. There's like really like,
oh shit.
And I'm sure if you talk to Power Rangers experts, they're going to be, no, this one is the quintessential one, or this one's the best one. But you can even say that none of the American ones matter. They all go to the Japanese ones without any American actors in them, and they watch those, and those are the highest. They have the highest regard. So, it's kind of weird to try and be like, oh, we have to get the first American Power Rangers to be right, because there's been so many thousand versions of them.
Carlos, comment?
Have you guys seen the fan film of the Power Rangers?
Yes.
Yeah.
With Vanderbeek and the what's her name?
When they like killing him, blood everywhere.
Make that movie. I watched that. That's awesome.
I loved that.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the Green Ranger versus Ryu? That's a great one.
Carlos was showing us awesome videos last time, Ruggs. He showed us Batman versus Darth Vader and Batman versus Wolverine. And,
I've seen all of those.
Yeah, those are great. Listermate says they're making a Buck Rogers movie. I did not know that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Cosmo Fox says get James Cameron to do Thundercats. I love that idea.
Remember when they tried to make a Phantom movie
with Billy Zane?
Yeah.
They should make that again. That's a great character. It just needs to be handled well.
He's one of the first legit comic book superheroes.
Yeah, he's we said he's there with like Zorro and Dick Tracy and the Phantom.
So after all the comic book stuff dies down in 20 years, what do you think's gonna be next?
Well, let's start making westerns again. I don't know.
No, there's
romance books.
There are so
That's
many.
already happened.
There are so many untouched classic books.
Yeah.
That have not been even thought of, like Neuromancer.
Yeah.
Never been done. Well, he's chomping at the bit now.
Literally.
All right, so hold on. Now, Ghost in the Shell
Yeah.
is being made. But did anybody ever see Battle of the Planets, or as they said in Japan?
Gotcha, man. Yeah.
There's a live action.
Yeah, I was talking to Imran about it.
Yeah, he showed me that they made that right in Japan.
Why isn't it here?
I've seen it.
They made a live action Attack on Titan too.
Yeah.
Listen, this Toho Godzilla movie should come out here. This Russian superhero movie Guardian should come out in the States. That thing is sick.
That looks terrible.
If Jordan wants to know what's going to be the next thing, it's going to be video game adaptations and anime adaptations.
They have still yet to
superheroes are going to be dry.
Video game though.
The Naruto movie
and board games.
Then the Naruto movie is going to come out. It's going to be a live action.
Well, they got to finish the actual animated version to do that, and they're all the way through non-canon stuff for the rest of the year. So it's going to be a while for a Naruto one to come out. But they have already made a Rurouni Kenshin's been made, and so has Attack on Titan, like I said. So if Ghost in the Shell comes out, if it ends up being pretty good, I mean, I could see them doing more live action stuff. Now, I'm not even gonna put Dragon Ball Evolution in there because that was a piece of shit, and that doesn't even count as anything like that. But I mean, I could really see it. I could see a Trigun one coming out. I mean, I could see Bleach, even anything like that. Even Full Metal Alchemist, that could be pretty good.
And Jordan knows her anime.
Yeah.
Oh, she looks like an anime.
What, Carlos? What do you think about the Scarlett Johansson casting? I don't know if you heard at the beginning. We were kind of saying.
No, I did.
What do you think about all that? Because the way they're drawn, it's not clear what they are. It's true.
No, that's true. I mean, it's kind of like the way have you ever seen the anime versions of the X-Men?
Yes. Yeah, those are great.
I don't like the stories.
Yeah. I love the animation. I don't know about the story.
Yeah, the animation is beautiful, but I don't like the stories. And yet, the way we look at, the X-Men, they're drawn in anime. So, like you said, I don't have a problem with the casting, but at the same time, like if they ever do the animated, the live action version of Akira, should that be all an Asian cast?
I would like it to be.
It's in Japan.
I would like to ask anyone here: how many of you watched all of Into the Badlands?
I saw one episode. I did.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that had a lead character that was Asian.
Yeah.
The main character, the main badass character,
was awesome.
And nobody watched it.
I watched it.
You liked it? It was good. I didn't. It just didn't grab me.
Imran didn't stick with it. I didn't. It has nothing to do with the guy being Asian either. No, I can't watch it. It was just like I was like, all right, there's nothing grabbing me. And I tried to do the same thing with that MTV show, the Shannara Chronicles. I watched 3 or 4 episodes, and then I was like,
I watched the
second season. People like that. I thought they got a second season.
I did watch all of Power.
Yeah, Powers.
Yeah,
what on?
I actually enjoyed the whole
Powers.
thing.
I recommend it. It's low budget, but I recommend it.
And it's really good when you finally see the whole story, and I hope it builds up.
That's the one.
I read the comic, so the comic is
PlayStation
really
Network. That's the one that's on PlayStation Network, right?
It's on.
It's on Crackle. That's right. I gotta watch that. Watch that. Cosmo Fox said he tried watching that show. What were we talking about? Into the Badlands.
They made a live action Fist of the North Star movie.
Really?
In the 1990s, it was so bad.
I heard that Pokemon live action. I heard they're thinking about that.
Oh, they're gonna do that. That's coming.
It'll probably look like Pixels.
Ugh, I hope not.
Nah, they're gonna
do with the Pokemon then? Like, how would
it's gonna be like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
It's gonna be like Pikachu will be like a furry animal creature thing.
Pikachu,
like a crazy rabbit animal that'll bite you.
Yeah, would they be pretty cartoony, or would they be like sort of realistic looking?
Nah, you can't really. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you can't make it look like Avatar.
Yeah.
the last.
But you almost risk it looking like Space Jam if you don't.
They got to be well designed creatures to fit whatever tone they're going to go with. I mean, I think it's a great concept for a movie. It's very visual, and see them with coming out of the little balls would be great.
Yeah,
balls.
I think they should do Appleseed.
Oh,
I read that long time ago.
Appleseed's great. I love Appleseed.
What was the name of the animation? And this is going to be way back when they're on a space train. Did anybody ever see that?
Bacano.
It's with this little boy.
Was it Bacano?
And a woman.
It's probably Bacano.
That doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't.
They were on a train in Bacano.
They're in a train, but in
Polar
space.
Express. No, that's not right.
No, it's not it.
Great space coaster.
I know.
It was a great anime.
They made Captain Harlock. They did Battleship Yamato.
Yeah.
They did all those things.
Galaxy Express.
Galaxy Express.
I think so. That sounds more familiar.
I've never seen that.
Oh, it's old. It's borderline 1970s to 80s.
But we're talking about things that have a huge fan base.
old.
Like Hollywood's going to go for something that has a humongous fan base.
But then
Cowboy Bebop.
Then you got to put a name in there. This is the problem. You need.
So you're going to have I'm talking about the biggest things that anime has ever done in video games.
Well, I mean, look at
Pokemon.
Carter.
It's going to be Yu-Gi-Oh.
Princess of Mars. I mean, that's an old book, and they brought it to life.
Yeah, but no one saw it.
Wait, what'd you say?
I love that book. I love that book.
It was I think it was a great movie. It's the book that inspired Star Wars and a bunch of other films.
Oh, John Carter. Yeah, they just screwed up again with the casting. You need a name. And how about?
No, I think the name of the movie.
The name of the movie, and you need a name acting to hold the movie. But yeah, John Carter sounds like a presidential documentary. It does not sound like a science fiction movie.
Yeah.
John Carter, is that what you're asking, Anna? Which one are we talking about?
John Carter, what's the whole thing called?
Yeah, John Carter was written way
Rex,
back.
What's the whole name?
40 something.
It's a Princess of Mars is the original book.
Princess of Mars, yeah.
Right. Edward Rice Burroughs in like 19.
And then the next book is called Warlord of Mars.
Yeah.
So.
And now Princess of Mars is actually what one of my paintings is based off of, where it's a woman warrior in Mars.
Deja Thoris.
What is this?
Deja Thoris.
That's the name of the character.
The
character,
girl,
the princess.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think you're right, but I don't remember her name. I just know that I had tattoos on her and all that stuff, and it was great to see the movie and say, "Oh, that's my character." That's the book's character, but I painted that.
Gotcha.
Ruggs Carlos is a really good illustrator.
Yeah, I see some of his work.
Yeah.
Remember we met him before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is...
People still have fond memories of Space Jam, even though Michael Jordan's the worst actor on the planet.
Yeah, there she is.
There's it. Wow.
Space Jam is one of those nostalgic movies.
Yeah.
Anybody ever gone to the Space Jam website and see that it's like still?
Actually, that's great. Yeah, it's like 90s old school. Like they never updated it. I love that they did that.
I've never been to the Space Jam website.
I never
will be.
Nope.
So imagine a live action Bugs Bunny.
What? Like an actual bunny? See, now you're gonna ruin things.
No,
Woody Woodpecker.
But
like Garfield,
Hollywood's only going to make things that have a built-in audience that's big. That's why they're going after Ninja
Well,
Turtles.
they did the Flintstones.
Yeah, but they already gone to that well. All the people that love the Flintstones are now like old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I like
They tried
Flintstones.
They tried to reinvent the monsters on TV. Did you see that?
Oh,
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Wait, what?
The Munster and Brady Bunch. Remember they brought Brady Bunch back to television.
Yeah.
That
was fun.
That didn't work. Bobby was in a wheelchair. He was paralyzed.
It's bad.
He was a race car driver.
It's mucho bado.
Well, did you ever see what was the name of that one? The Full House.
Yeah, Fuller House is cute. It's charming. If you like Full House, you will enjoy the Fuller House. It's the same.
Yeah,
exact-
Jodie Sweet.
There's Fuller
Jodie Sweet and just walk around with her boobs hanging out.
Stephanie
the whole time.
Tanner, let me tell you, it's amazing. Wait, so I would Ruggs, listen to this crew, you guys. I was talking about this Hasbro Cinematic Universe. I forgot to mention what writers are on board to actually help them do this. They have
Okay.
Michael Chabon, author of he wrote Spider-Man 2.
Whoa.
Brian K. Vaughan is in. He's writing Saga, Why the Last Man, and Under the Dome, and Lost.
Yeah.
They have Chio Coker, the showrunner from Luke Cage. The guy's writing Spider-Man. John Francis Daly, Jonathan Goldstein are involved in this. The guy who wrote on People versus OJ and Black Panther, Joe Robert Cole, and a lot of just great talent to bring to life G.I. Joe, Micronauts, Mask, and ROM.
See, I don't care about Mask. I don't care about Micronauts. So ROM, I'd be interested just for a passing interest.
ROM could be an interesting sci-fi.
Remember Power Lords?
ROM, wasn't that like he was with them? ROM and the Power Lords?
No, the Power Lords was that guy where you pressed a button and he flipped around and he was like a blue Hulk.
No. Of course he was.
All right. Anyway,
What about Captain Planet?
what about Thunder and the Barbarian?
Thundar the Barbarian.
Johnny
Oh,
Quest.
wow.
Ooh.
Johnny Quest would be cool.
Dungeons
Hey,
and
listen,
Dragons.
I'm gonna bounce for a second, and I'm gonna lurk for a little bit, and then I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh,
Whee!
Somebody wants to hop in there, say hi. Feel free. We got an open seat. It's the Jock and Nerd Podcast post show. And
Oh yeah, Johnny Quest. I remember that.
So if you wanted anything to be made into a movie that hasn't been made into a movie yet, what would you want it to be?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It says the seat is locked. No, it's enabled.
Doctor Who movie. I don't
Um,
know how you do that.
I don't know. I feel like that there's already like, there's kind of short movies
Spider-Ham.
about those anyway.
Oh, Peter Porker Spider-Ham would be great.
I'll tell you right now, if you do a Doctor Who movie, you don't have Stephen Moffat write it.
No.
Stephen Moffat's not going to write it anymore, anyways.
Right, he quit, the bastard.
He's done with the Doctor Who. I heard everyone is upset when he left.
I'm okay. Go back to writing Sherlock.
Which Doctor? Would you do like a new Doctor, or would you like pick up with the present Doctor?
No, this is
Well,
how
it would be whatever the current Doctor is at the time, which right now would be Peter Capaldi.
Dakota, what do you think?
Love, can I talk for myself? He asked me a question. I would think, oh, really, Jordan? It's nice to see you, love. I haven't seen you in forever. Right, now, I would say that Capaldi, now this is how I'd write it if I did it. I would do Capaldi, Tennant, and Sylvester McCoy. Right,
Okay.
now, that movie, now, I'd have to agree with you, listeners, mate, that movie was great, but it wasn't really a good movie.
There was a movie there? Wow, I didn't know that.
It was a television movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, I mean, if technically you could kind of count like the Day of the Doctor when they did the War Doctor and they had all the other doctors come on. You had David Tennant and you had Matt Smith. And even Peter Capaldi made a little cameo there before he was the new Doctor. I mean, that was technically kind of a movie in itself. It wasn't really part of the show. It was more of like an extra film.
Well, really, Jordan, you're right. But all the other doctors really wanted to come back on, but they wouldn't Moffat wouldn't let them do that. And I know that Eccleston was in talks with Moffat to try and come back, but he really didn't want to do that. And I personally don't know why he didn't want to. I've got a mate that works for the BBC. He really couldn't tell me anything about that. But I would say if the script was alright, I would think that Eccleston would probably have to come back.
I feel like Eggleston was a very underappreciated doctor. I enjoyed him when I watched him.
Exactly.
I enjoyed him.
Back.
I liked him more than Matt Smith, and I know that's totally taboo for a bunch of people, but I really enjoyed him as the Doctor.
Matt Smith.
That's my opinion.
The bloody
guy. No. I liked Christopher Eccleston better.
Oh.
But everybody seems to like Matt Smith the most. I don't know why. Because he's good looking, I guess.
That
kind
sword,
of.
I really don't like that sword. Really. It was too dramatic. his time on the show. So that's my opinion.
Yeah. I mean,
All right.
but personally, David Tennant is the best New Age Doctor right now, and that's my
Exactly. Right, no, that was my opinion. I'll bump it out so the little puppet can try and come back on. I can't believe you got a little bloody puppet.
Oh, of course.
I'm sitting right here. I came back on and I saw that and I'm like, it's a bloody puppet.
Yes, it is.
But really, he must be from Britain because his teeth aren't really that great.
No, he only has 6. Yeah, he only has 6.
Wowie,
6 teeth, and
we were on a budget.
Yeah,
6 bloody teeth.
It's it's less to take care of. They're clean. There's just 6 of them.
All right. I'm gonna bump out, Jordan. It's nice to see you, love.
Good to see you, Dakota.
Nice to meet you, Dakota. Oh, somebody just somebody just sent us an email. Speaking of emails, we got some weird videos sent to the email. You guys gotta watch this one. Very strange. Here we go.
You made it pop out so that you can put it in the third.
Or you can just click it and watch it, because this right here is the strangest Spider-Man video I've ever seen. And it's titled in Japanese. There's no way I ever would have found this video, and somebody just sent it without anything else. If you it is it's like some sort of time travel storyline. There's no dialogue, but
I like the beard.
There's a bearded Spider-Man, and
Is this wait? Hold on. Is this the one where he gets his powers from a cave?
Well, he goes back to caveman times, and then there's a Hulk and a Mrs. Spider-Man, and then he hits the button, and then he goes to like pirate time, and for some reason, like the Joker and Venom are there, and then he hits another button. He goes to like medieval times, and it makes no sense. I'm like, what the fuck is
special
this?
effects, though.
There's some After Effects in there.
There's one where Spider-Man is in Japan. It's a Japanese version of Spider-Man.
Yeah, there's Japanese Spider-Man.
And he flies in with a mech kind of warrior.
That's I forgot that robot is canon. They introduced him in the comic books in Spider-Verse. It's called
really?
Yeah, but now like all those Spider-Man count. But yeah, that's the Japanese.
But he gets his
Spider-Man.
powers from like some cave and some ancient like.
It's like an amulet. Yeah.
Oh, it was like, what is happening here?
Is that not the
Marvel
weirdest
You go
video?
back in here, so I'm gonna pop out. So
Why would somebody send me
somebody
that?
pop back in, man?
I don't.
Why would somebody send you that?
Well, I guess I understand why somebody was telling me that, but I got to tell you, I would never would have found that. Like the title is in Japanese, everything's in Japanese. Even if I searched, I would never have found this crazy trip.
Now I feel like watching it.
Surreal, dude. You could just watch it with the sound off because you're on your phone though.
Is that supposed to be Wolverine?
Wait, hold on. I think we can put it in. We can put it in here now. Here, okay, here we go. Drop this in. I'm gonna mute the sound. So here's the video somebody sent us. An old Spider-Man with it's just a compass. Poof! He goes through time. And now it's all the same location, by the way. So he's like, caveman Spider-Man, where am I? And like there's a Hulk and a Ben and his wife.
You know what blows my mind away about Flash?
Yeah.
That my understanding is you can't really travel through time unless you can go faster than the speed of light.
Right.
Yet he says he's not fast enough, but he does go past, through time.
Yeah.
And you can't really go faster than light. So that's a problem mathematically.
He's time warped twice already, like accidentally.
Right. And then on top of that, Zoom is faster, so Zoom is faster than the speed of light. And then he has a thing which then makes him 4 times faster than Zoom, which means he's 4 times faster than the speed of light. I mean, what?
So then why don't you just go back in time and fix everything? What are you doing? Yeah, that's pretty fast.
So I'm very confused.
I did not crash into things when you're running that fast too. Like,
I know, right?
That's pretty remarkable. I was like,
I'll give it to the effects. The effects look fantastic.
Dakota says, "What the bloody hell is this?" Dakota, somebody sent us this to the show email.
Wait, I'm not seeing it.
Does does he go so fast that he just goes through everything?
Well, he can, but he has to vibrate his body so the molecules can
That's
go through.
frequency based.
Yeah, that's like a whole nother thing. But he runs around the street and I guess stuff slows down. This is a weird
quantum physics.
Yeah, this is the trippiest Spider-Man, and then it just ends here where he gets to the princess.
Okay.
None of this.
It looks like there was more to it.
Yeah, I don't know what the good part is. I only got like a minute 43, but
that looked like Elsa.
It did. It looked like he was going to beat Elsa. That's what I thought. I was like, what the hell? This is the most drug-fueled Spider-Man acid trip I've ever seen. Like, why is Heath Ledger's Joker and Venom hanging out in Pirate Land? And how is it Pirate Land when there's no water? They're just on land. That was hilarious. But
oh my God, this is so sick.
Rugs, people send us weird things. I often wonder, like, if you're like really famous, like you must get a lot of weird shit sent to you. Like people are sending us really weird stuff through the email and Twitter.
Probably. Hey, can I ask you guys a question?
Dakota, by the way, Dakota was waiting for you. He's a big fan in the chat of Rug Boy, the bloody puppet. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not bloody. I haven't had any injuries at all.
He loves your teeth because it reminds him of his country people.
Yeah. Well, English people like me for some reason.
Cosmo Fox, I have seen the Bollywood Spider-Man. Okay, Ruggs, what do you got?
How the fuck do you turn off these stupid notices that pop up on your screen? Those blab notices where how do you turn that shit off?
Okay, let me.
You're annoying. I clicked OK, and I'm like, now I regret it.
Are you in Chrome, Ruggs?
Yeah.
So if you click,
there should be a notification option. Okay.
Yeah, if you click those three bars and go to settings, you have to like disable the thing somewhere. As I did that once and then I had to turn it off.
How the fuck do you turn this off?
Okay, here.
Or
see if this helps.
Ruggs, Dakota says if you're ever in Scotland, when he'll buy you a pint. He wants to drink with Rug Boy.
Okay.
A pint of blood.
Ben and Jerry's?
Oh, ice cream? Yeah, I was getting a lot of notifications. So I think you go to your settings in the Chrome browser and
I put a link down there that might help.
But that's even more confusing now.
Ruggs, go click on see those three bars?
Yeah, I did that.
So go
to
Ruggs,
settings.
do you use a puppet computer?
Yeah, he has a special felty computer. It's got giant buttons. Just giant. Like the keyboard takes up the whole floor. Whiskey.
No, I'm working everything with my penis. Let's see.
So settings.
Yeah.
Okay, and then extensions. Click extensions.
Okay.
What does it say?
Google Docs.
Yeah.
Google Hangouts. Google Sheets. Google Slides, and that's it.
Okay, hold on.
Under settings, in that is there something about what the hell was it?
Go to settings. Go to advanced settings.
Advanced settings.
And then
log in.
Advanced sync settings.
And then it says in the privacy section there's content settings.
That's it. She's right.
But where do I get to advanced settings?
Okay, so in settings there's a blue like extra click link at the bottom that says see advanced settings. Okay. So then go to privacy.
Yes.
And there's a little box that says content settings. Okay. And then it says go to notifications.
Yeah, then you scroll down. There's a lot of scrolling and dialogue boxes.
And then so then
you can tell those designed by engineers.
You can manage them.
Click another button. Manage.
I want to say do not allow any site to show notifications.
You can kill all the notifications. Yeah.
You can kill them all, or if you want to manage them separately, you click manage exceptions. Find the one that says blab.im and disallow it.
That's absolutely correct. It's very buried. That's a lot of clicking and dialogue boxes.
Yeah, I had a tough time figuring it out. I was like, fuck this shit.
Just don't press the red button.
Everything blows up. But really, it'd be hard to find that. But I'm sure people have trouble finding that, and they're like, "Why am I getting all these notifications?" Jesse Looney says your keyboard is like the old Nintendo Power Pad. Yeah, that would work. or like the piano from Big.
Now I'm going into.
Oh, and I was. That's okay.
Anybody else want to jump on? I can jump out.
Can I? What is this?
What color is your hair, Jordan?
It's red. You want to see?
Sure. So it's your shirt.
Yeah.
Hey, can I share it? I got an
Cool.
email from a dude.
Anna's hair is red as well.
Oh yeah, there it is.
My hair is cut. They
You can
took
see
a
it better.
blade and just said,
Ruggs, you're listen. Okay, guys, somebody, Ron, just sent us this. Is Ron in the room here?
"A few shows."
He says, a Jock and Nerd shout out. I recently discovered your show and have been really enjoying your podcast. I have been trying to get the word out about the show by poking my head under or over occupied bathroom stalls and screaming Jock and Nerd.
No, that's what I do.
I read somewhere that people are most open to new ideas while shitting, so it seemed like a good idea. I love this guy, Ron. I'm pretty lucky that I can outrun any dude with pants around his ankles. It is one of my not so extraordinary superpowers. It's good to be using my powers for a good cause. When I'm not out exploring restrooms and spreading the gospel of Rug Boy, I review items on Amazon. I just did a review tonight on a pair of headphones. I gave the show a Jock and Nerd shout out and name checked Rugs. I thought this might help broaden your target audience. I will send you a link to the review once it goes live. That is, if you give a fuck. Can I use that word here? I learned it on your show, so it must be okay, right? Oh, this guy's a listener. I love this fucking guy.
Oh, he's definitely a funny guy.
Please come on Blab and hang out with us.
He says, how does Ruggs spell his full name? Let me know so I can update it in the review. I hope the shout outs get you some new listeners. Keep up the good work. This guy's great. I'm going to have to read this again in our next show, so it's on the actual show.
That just happened.
Fuck it. Yeah, I just got...
Now you're still. Hold on. Now you're still.
I'm still recording, so it'll be. I can cut this in. That's excellent, and he just sent this at like 9 p.m. Good for Ron.
All right, I'm gonna jump out and let somebody else in. I might just go ahead and go blab hopping a bit.
Yeah, I might. I think we're gonna wrap up the show soon, guys. So
sounds good to me.
Yeah, Jordan, thank you so much again for everything.
Thanks, Jordan. You're the best.
Anybody wants to jump in and say hi to Ruggs real quick?
All right, bye.
I think we're gonna wind it.
Dakota
Wants to talk
me.
to you. Dakota, come on in. Everyone else in the blab, check us out, jockandnerd.com. We are primarily an audio podcast. You can subscribe to the show. I'm trying to click this fucking thing. Ruggs, can you see if you can click him in?
How do I click him in?
It says show callers. Click that button.
Show callers.
Do you see him calling in?
I don't see anything.
Don't see him calling in.
Towards the top on the left-hand side.
Oh, now I'm a code host.
There you go. So said show, click them in. I was saying, if you want to listen to us anytime, audio on demand, jockandnerd.com. There's over 100 hours of geeky content. It's not letting me click it either. What the hell? Dakota, pop out and do it again. Okay, try again, Dakota.
If you want, I'll.
There we
pop
go.
out,
No, hold on.
There's two pictures. Okay.
Ah, what the crap?
I don't know where to let people in. Oh,
Let me try this.
Okay.
It's
a blab glitch.
yeah, he's not even here anymore.
Dakota, refresh your page.
He's probably.
I want to refresh my page.
Refresh. Try it again. Let's try to get in again.
Where do you see the callers? That since you made me a call.
It's in the box. It should say show. It says show call. Okay, he refreshed. Now it's working. Now it's working. He had to refresh.
Puppet. All right, you're so cute.
Hey, look, it's a leprechaun.
Really, mate. You know, I think you're pretty cool. Don't be insulting me.
Well, yeah. So what's up? Well, you're telling me I'm cute. I'm an old man. It's crazy.
Right. Well, you know, I've had a few shots of scotch and whiskey, so I'm probably a little drunk right now.
Where are you from, sir? By the way,
I'm from Aberdeen.
Ooh,
Scotland. That's
Aberdeen.
Scotland.
Aye. I was born in Aberdeen. I was raised in Glasgow. And until recently, I worked for Her Majesty's government.
Wow.
So,
whoa, what'd you do?
I was a special advisor to the Prime Minister.
Holy
Whoa,
shit!
what-
You're watching us. Wow.
In relation to Parliament and question time.
So you're like a smart person. Probably.
Kinda, you know.
What-
I've got no hair.
From stress? Is that from all the stress working for Her Majesty?
Aye.
So what was your role? Like, what did you do day to day in your position?
Well, you got really say I was a spin doctor. It was like a chief of staff. I was a special advisor. I advise you to look up Malcolm Tucker.
Okay.
You'll find what I used to be. So
like marketing. You worked in marketing for.
Not really, no.
Not really.
Maybe public relations.
Public PR. Public relations. Yes. Wow, that's awesome, dude. That's fascinating.
Really. But look, you little rugby, you remind me of a member of parliament I used to know.
Yeah?
Aye.
What was his name?
Dennis Skinner.
Oh.
Good guy he was?
He's my grandfather.
Well, he's still alive, but
Oh,
No.
is he a good guy?
He's still in parliament. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. So,
Okay.
right. Now, I'm about to go drinking again with this lovely French lady that I met down in the hotel lobby.
Oh, snap.
I'm in New York. I'm in New York right now.
Oh, you're in New York.
So am I.
Oh,
Where in
really?
New York
Where
are
are
you?
you?
I'm in Queens right
Manhattan.
now.
I'm in Manhattan.
Very cool.
Nice.
Aye.
Right on. New York's great.
And have you been to the States before? Or is this like your first trip?
No, when the Prime Minister was here a few years ago, I was with him in Washington.
Very cool.
I bet
So,
this whole Parliament story gets him laid a lot. Right?
That's how
Like,
you
I
pull
mean,
the
you're
French
gonna
chick.
score big with this French chick. I have a feeling.
The accent alone,
Yeah.
I'd take my pants
Pretty
off.
good game you got going.
well, we'll
You,
see.
you just have
Right,
to say,
now,
I'm very hung.
Yeah.
well, let's just say, lad, that I've got some Scottish beef from Aberdeen. And let's
Would
just
you
say
like-
that is
Hey, Lassie, would you like the Scottish beef injection?
right. No, I've got.
I
I've
wish
got
I
a-
could do accents. I can't do it.
Right, rugby. You know, look at you. You've got your looks. You've got your looks, and that's nothing to be ashamed
So yeah,
about.
rugby is very good looking.
Rugboy, he liked your teeth. You know, you got good teeth there.
I take good care of them. Look how white they are. Look, check them out.
They're very good.
White.
Nice. Right,
Not a yellow
right,
one in the
lad-
bunch.
Right, lads, I've got to go.
Dakota, thanks for
See you.
checking us out. Enjoy your
Yeah,
good
time
luck.
in New York, man.
Hey, listen.
Thanks.
Let me just give you some quick advice.
Right.
2 go in the pink and 1 goes in the stink.
Oh,
Right?
shit.
Just remember.
It's good advice.
Bye bye.
It's called the
All right.
shocker. We call that the shocker in this country. Bye, Dakota.
Yes, we do.
Dude, a guy from fucking British Parliament? We're talking to a guy that works in goddamn Parliament? What just happened? Oh, shit. And he was a fan not of Carlos, not of me, but of the fucking puppet.
Well, I got an award today. Did you see that, Imran?
You what?
I got an award.
From who?
Oh yeah, what'd you get?
I got an award from Kermit and Friends.
Oh, you wanted a what? I did
Another
not-
one. I got Best Puppet.
Oh, you wait. Was Douche in the running, or he doesn't count as a puppet?
No, he wasn't even in the run. I don't know who was in the running. It was it was on my Twitter feed, and I was gonna talk to David Mobile, but he was not here anymore.
Oh,
But,
off. That's congratulations,
But I
right?
think he campaigned to get me on that.
I
so.
think he did.
That's
I think
awesome.
They added that category. That is a great. Congratulations, Rug Boy, for winning.
I'm
best.
very happy that even though I haven't been on the show in like 3 months,
They
that
still
people-
remember you.
Yeah.
They still. That was the thing that happened. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
I'm also among the list of retired members. I'm not really retired. I just don't. I can't do it. That show. I mean, I'll go on again at one point, but
But don't you? Would you have to pay now to go on the fucking show?
no, it's just
Do you pay to watch it?
like
Replays?
this is the thing. Okay, I love Elisa's show.
Yeah.
I think she's great.
Yeah.
There was a time where they handed it over to Benji.
Yeah, he was interviewing a bunch of people. Yeah.
Benji was not as good as with the show that as keeping it going as Elisa did.
Oh, really?
But no, Benji's kind of like a mystery guy. I really don't get him, but I love him too. He's funny. But the thing is, if you don't watch the show live, you have to pay for it.
Ah.
And I couldn't get caught up in everything that was going on because I could never watch it. I'm a busy dude.
And there's so many storylines on that goddamn show.
So like I got lost at one point, and I was like, I can't catch up anymore. So
no, and then the people watching are so mad if you are on there and you don't know what's going on, they will destroy you. Hi, Anna.
Yeah.
Hi.
How's it going?
How you doing? Hey there.
Hey, what's up, Anna?
Are you in shock also that we just talked to a drunk guy who worked for Parliament that loves rugby?
That was great. Yeah, that was it was fabulous. I hope he has a great time in Manhattan.
It seemed like Jordan knew him from before.
Did you think I gave him good advice, Anna?
I don't know if that's a maneuver that works for all the ladies, but I'm sure it's a shocker. But
hey, listen,
yeah,
you're talking to a guy who has something up his slack hole right now.
Yeah, he's got a twisted perspective on this, so he just thinks everybody likes something up his slack hole.
Is that
I do have a weird perspective on this, Imran. Anyhow, so what would you like to talk about, Anna?
Oh yeah, I was trying to say earlier, like it'd be cool if they could make like She-Hulk into a movie.
She-Hulk would be a great. I think they should make a Netflix series.
That would go great with Deadpool.
Yes, because
I still have to watch that.
Oh, dude, Deadpool's coming out on digital HD this Tuesday, so you can stream it on Tuesday already. But She-Hulk would be a great because she's a lawyer. You could put some drama, some courtroom drama, but then have fun with like a Hulk-powered being who's actually still has her mental capacity.
It could be like a fun lawyer, not like Matt Murdock lawyer, like an Ally McBeal type lawyer.
Yeah, like imagine Ally McBeal with a giant green
with a killer wardrobe because she's like, how tall is she? Like
she'd
7
be like
feet
7 or 8 feet. I think Marvel
the
is
shoes.
Marvel they're really missing out on using more of their female characters as leads because when Wonder Woman comes out, it's like DC kind of beat them to like the first female lead superhero movie when they have a bunch of great female characters on the like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers movies, but they're not willing to give them a whole movie of their own. Jessica Jones was a good start also.
Yeah.
So, have anybody heard rumors of Daredevil being in the Avengers?
I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe an Infinity War. I mean, they're shooting the Defenders at the end of this year. They're going to do all their Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Defenders before even the third season of Daredevil. But we were talking about what if they just recast him and put him in the movie, a movie version?
I mean, they can do it, but they don't need to do it.
True. I mean, because at some point, Marvel will get back all their licensing.
Yeah, they're working on that. Yeah.
And, I mean, they're not probably going to revamp everything, but they definitely have a direction in mind. So, that's something I hope happens soon before I die. I'm old.
Well,
Did you read my comment earlier about the can of whoop ass? Okay, just saying.
I think that the future of entertainment is changing. All right, movies are still relevant to a point, but there's going to be a nexus at a certain point. There is going to be a point in time where machines and human beings are going to meld together. There's going to be a singularity, and there's going to be like virtual reality. There's going to be all these things, and I think that's going to be the next level of entertainment, where they're going to really blow out these Marvel universes and stuff.
Well, so right now, next generation is 8K film.
Wow, that's a lot of resolution.
It is, and they and the reason I mentioned that is because a lot of products has been released in NAB, which is what's happening this week.
Yep,
and a lot of that is 8K directed.
Wow.
And did somebody just say Daredevil horrible?
That's what Masterly Obvious said. Now he could be talking about the movie.
Not watched it.
He could be talking about the movie.
Oh, okay, you know what? You're right. I totally forgot that. Erased from my brain.
However, I heard the director's cut of that, and he's gone. Was pretty good.
I saw it.
So the one Daredevil that you watched is a web series?
It's on Netflix. So here's
Netflix.
To your point, Ruggs. What would they take Charlie Cox over to the movies? Now, Anna just asked, like, Netflix something you have to pay for. This is not free. This is not something everyone can watch and know Charlie Cox Daredevil. And then when he just shows up in the movie, a lot of people may be confused. It's not a name. Who is this guy? And then half the people will be like, oh, that's the guy we saw on Netflix. But this is a pay service. This isn't just out there.
Yes.
So yeah.
I was yawning the whole time.
There's some conversations where, because Daredevil is part of the Infinity War, that at some point he's got to be in the the film version of the Marvel Universe.
They have enough fucking characters to put in this movie as it is. Like, I don't even know. They've also started talking about Phase 4 too, moving forward. So
I hope they do Secret Wars.
Secret Wars.
Like a proper Secret Wars, like off planet with the Beyonder, and then he gets the black costume and all that shit.
I don't know. I think that'll be a major fan film. I don't know if it'll work well as a feature film.
Even Master the Obvious likes that idea.
Yeah. I mean,
Secret Wars.
I mean, have you
go away?
Beyond
somewhere.
Who has read that?
I've read it.
I read it, of course.
I read both versions. Actually, all three of them: Secret Wars, Secret Wars 2, and then the new Secret Wars.
Did you read Secret? Don't tell your mom or your uncle.
But everybody knows about it, so why is it?
No, but I didn't read that one because it was a secret. Nobody told me about it.
Oh, see, you didn't get
it. It's no secret. I didn't even know about
it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Masterly Obvious was talking about the movie Daredevil. Yeah, it was not good.
I wonder what other members of Parliament we could talk to.
Who else is out there? I wanted to ask him about like their debates where they just fucking yell at each other. And is that like for real, or is this like a pro wrestling setup bit? Is there scripts? Like, what's going on? Why can't you have civil debates in your parliament? You got to fucking.
I just like it. I like that that they named their whole entire presidential election system after cigarettes.
P-Funks, dude. P-Funks are the bomb, dude. Full flavored. The blue box, not the white box. I like the little recessed filter.
I have a question about your show.
Yeah.
Will you be covering Preacher?
I think we'll talk about the season premiere. And if we like it, and I think I'm gonna like it, I would like to cover Preacher because that's a comic book TV show.
This is the thing. I love Preacher. I read it when it came out. I ran to the
Preacher
store.
Or Creature?
It's called Preacher.
Preacher.
Ruggs, explain Preacher to Anna.
Jesse Custer is a preacher in a church, and one day he opens his mouth and the voice of God comes out. But when you actually use the voice of God, you could pretty much say whatever you want and it happens.
Yep.
And you could actually just kill people and make them explode if you want, you know? So he finds out that God left. He's like, I'm done with this earth. I'm done with this. I'm no longer care about it. I'm moving on to other things. And so now he's kind of pissed and he has to track God down and make him responsible for what he's left his creation.
And he's friends with an Irish vampire, and his girlfriend's this girl Tulip, who's just this crazy killer, sharpshooter killer. In the first episode of the season premiere, there you will see a cameo by one Tom Cruise, who apparently there's a scene where all the men of faith of different faiths are just exploding, like they're just dying. So you see Tom Cruise talking about Scientology, and then he just explodes. Yeah, so it's
awesome.
Sounds very satisfying. And the guy playing Custer, his name is Dominic Cooper. I don't know if you watched Agent Carter or have seen any of the movies with Howard Stark, Tony Stark's father. That's who's playing the lead in Preacher. He's a great actor. So, and it's AMC, man. AMC got some good shows outside of like maybe Into the Badlands. But I'm excited for Preacher. It looks dark and it looks awesome.
And on comic book, do you watch Lucifer?
You know, I watched the first couple episodes. I'm surprised it hasn't been canceled yet. I didn't. It barely has. Really, it's really loosely based on Lucifer Morningstar from the comic books. It's just like in name only. Although they have all the angels and his girlfriends from the comic books. Is it gotten better? It's good still. It seemed to be the same thing over and over again.
I love the psychology of what's going on as a backstory, and I think that's what it is. It's like the backstory is more comic bookish.
Okay.
The front story is basically Castle.
See, that's right, and it's similar to Preacher in that Lucifer he quit hell. He's like, fuck it, I'm out of here, and his father or God is trying to like get him back. But he's enjoying being a human. But it just, in the beginning, it didn't make sense that this police person would just allow this dude to just walk in crime scenes and touch. I'm like, really? The guy's talking crazy shit. Like he's he's telling you he's the devil, and you're not calling anybody to like put him in a straitjacket. Yeah, Castle. I always thought that show was about the Punisher, and I was very disappointed to find out that it wasn't. That show.
Hey, I want to make a point about the Punisher real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were talking about how that they whitewash everything.
Yeah.
They whitewash Frank Castle. He's supposed to be Italian. He's never been played by one Italian person.
That's a good
Think
point.
about that.
Oh boy. The Italians ain't
How
having it.
specific do we have to get now with Castle?
Just give him a bowl of spaghetti.
Yeah. Just one shot of him eating lasagna. Would that be enough for you, Ruggs?
Now, if Blade was played by a white boy, then I'd be like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Where does this man, Tilda Swinton actually talked about, speaking of whitewashing, and how she's playing the Ancient One in Doctor Strange, and the Ancient One was an old Asian man, and so everyone's like, oh, whitewashing, and she's come out, and she's, in her defense, she's like, look, I wasn't asked to play an Asian character. Like, the character written in this thing is not, it's a woman, so she's like, I'm okay with it, because they didn't ask me to play an Asian character. It's not an Asian character in this version of this thing.
And how do you play an Asian character?
I don't know.
Sound like
No, they've done it in the past. They had like John Wayne play Genghis Khan and Marlon Brando be, another Asian character. They've done it in the past. We don't really do it that much. But you want to know something that really pissed me off?
Yeah.
All right. You ever scroll through like, Twitter and stuff, and then you see like one of those Now This videos where like it's like a propaganda video that like, whatever. So now there's this whitewashing propaganda video, and they're citing all these movies that whitewashed. And they did you see the movie by the Wachowski brothers called the
Jupiter?
No, the other one.
Matrix?
Speed Racer?
No, the other one.
Oh God, you can make us look this up.
I can't remember. It's the name of a thing. I forgot the name of it. I have to look it up now.
Hold on.
It was Cloud Atlas.
Cloud Atlas with Tom Hanks.
Right, did you see Cloud Atlas?
Nope.
Yeah.
All right.
I did.
That movie is all about, there's a cast of 5 or 6 people, and the whole movie uses the same cast over and over again, but they gender swap, they race swap.
Right.
So they're supposed to have white people playing black people. It's like the only movie where you can do it because it's about these same people like reoccurring throughout time in different lives. Hey,
I am Tom.
And they use that as a fucking example in their propaganda video. There's like a scene where there's a guy who's a white guy that's playing a Japanese guy now, and he's got like, the slanty eyes and stuff using prosthetics. And they were like, this cannot happen. And I'm like, that movie is supposed to happen. Why are you using that as an example? So I'm like, all right, you've just lost all credibility in your argument there.
That's just clickbait out of context fucking internet.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys ever see Sense8? Because they also did that.
No, I got to see that.
That was actually a very good series.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, it's no longer the Wachowski brothers.
Yeah,
it's the Wachowski sisters.
Siblings. I Am Tom is right. They're siblings. One of them, Caitlyn Jenner themselves. But I Am Tom also says Ancient One is a green dragon. It can look however it wants. That's a good point. If it's like an entity. But yes, and also Mr. Robot season 2 coming out, I think in July.
Oh, that's right.
Awesome.
Good series.
Yeah, have you watched Mr. Robot, Ruggs? I love that show.
Yeah, I do. I like it.
So bien.
Oh, Masterly Obvious knows you from Kermit and Friends, Ruggs. He says Rough Boy. Rug Boy is awesome. Great cameos on Kermit and Friends.
I haven't been there in a while, Masterly Obvious.
He must have watched the older shows.
Yeah.
We should cut a special.
They started charging, and I couldn't keep up. They started charging per episode to watch, and I couldn't watch it live.
Wait, it's shut down. He said KAF shut down.
They shut down. Yeah, they're gonna reboot. I think.
They're on hiatus. It's like a season or something. They're just on hiatus.
Yeah, like Elisa said that she's not gonna do the show for a little bit. She might do it once or twice a week now. And
doing 5 days a week, that'll burn you out pretty quickly if you're not ready for that. That's a lot.
When I started going on there, I felt like it was a very negative vibe on there.
Yeah.
And it didn't make me want to go back on. Not because of Elisa. She didn't ever do anything. But it's like you get on and the chat rips you apart, and then like they kick you off. Then you're sitting there, and then some guys are sitting there picking his nose into the camera for half an hour. You're like, why is this on? But I have my own show where I could talk and say whatever I want. Why am I doing this? It's like it's basically if you went on Howard Stern and they never even addressed you. They had like Tom Hanks sitting on the couch and they're just talking to somebody on the phone for an hour. That's rude.
They're just talking to some dude.
Yeah.
Look, Ruggs, we're positive here. That's why you got this box for you always. Tom, I am Tom wants to know, am I the only one who can't stand Supergirl? No, Tom. No, you're not. We had problems with the show when we first saw it. Carlos, you like the Supergirl?
Enough that the lights are flashing.
Yeah, that's crazy. What's going on over there? It has untapped potential that they still have yet to tap after 20 episodes.
I think I find Supergirl being adorable as far as her character. I really found her to be even more adorable with the Flash.
That was probably the best episode of the season.
Yes.
To me, was the crossover because it was Berlanti meeting Berlantiverse, and it was just so charming and cute, and it made sense, but it was a little just heavy-handed in the beginning, and Calista Flockhart's great. I am Tom says Supergirl is not adorable. She becomes a Red Lantern, a beacon of rage.
Now, I don't know if you realize, but every time I show an emotion on my face, the lights flicker.
Oh my God!
Why are your lights flickering?
And it's not
because he's a fucking metahuman, dude. He's a metahuman. His emotions
Maybe
are
just change the bulb or tighten the bulb.
To Tom, I gotta say the other best episode was that episode where she came across the red kryptonite and she was a biatch.
I think that.
Oh yeah, she played that well too.
I want to see more of that Supergirl all the time.
I think that they got their signals crossed. I think Superman should have been more like Supergirl.
Yes.
In her attitude, and Supergirl should have been more like Superman in her attitude. From Man of Steel.
Direct ripoff of Smallville. That's a really good call, Ruggs. Zack Snyder should have done a Supergirl movie, and then you let CBS.
Yeah, you want to do somebody who has an axe to grind against Earth? Supergirl's the one. She's the one who came here as a teenager.
Yep.
She's not integrated into society. She had to adapt. She had to dumb herself down to mix in with human beings. Clark didn't know any of that stuff. He grew up as a kid here. He never knew the difference. Yep. So he should be the hopeful one, and she should be the cynical one.
I mean, they even say that in the show that his brain is more human than hers, yet she's not cynical at all. She'd be like, these people, I gotta save your dumbasses again.
Yeah, she's like, on my planet, I could divide the atom by 12 and create new elements every day.
She's like, they couldn't have sent me to another fucking planet. I gotta stay here. What is this bullshit?
It's like being put with a bunch of monkeys. Like she's so much more advanced than us.
Yeah.
She grew up like on that planet. She's scientifically should be smarter than everybody on Earth.
I mean, but they're going for that CBS schmaltzy like heart, and that's what they got. I mean, the sisters are good together in that sense, but the writing needs work. And I love Martian Manhunter.
He's cool.
Yeah,
he's cool.
The show Supergirl is mansplaining feminism horribly. That is probably the best way to describe Supergirl.
It's not feminist to go and work for a vapid, like TV channel owner that wants you to go get coffee.
But it's like
that's really showing your feminism right there.
They're like missing the point on everything.
She doesn't have to work for some cunt. You know, she can work for anyone. She can work for herself. She can have power. She can be resourceful. She could see things. She could be like the greatest detective on Earth because she could see through walls. She could do anything.
Everything.
Why is she working for a stupid paper for some biatch that comments on what she's wearing every day?
And she's like, she's not a writer. She's never written everything. Like, what are you doing? It's wasting your time. Doesn't make any sense.
Like, I understand why Clark wants to be a reporter. He wants to go out and be on the streets, and he's interested in people, and he wants to like find out where the story. He wants a job where he can just run around and do whatever he wants and not have to be accountable. But she has to be like Cat Grant's biatch and get her coffee every minute of the day. If she like not there for 5 minutes, like Cat Grant's freaking out. So it doesn't make any sense when you write the show.
They should make her a little bit edgier, just a little bit. Do something to make her a little bit more not likable, almost. But she's just so cute, though. The way the Melissa Benoist.
They're just making Superman light. That's what they do with these
Superman
shows.
light, and
instead of exploring who is really Green Arrow, they just make Batman light.
Right. And then
instead of
And occasionally you see Superman's boots in the background. Kill Henshaw so he can become Cyborg Superman early. That would be good too. And if they're they're trying to get to the Cadmus storyline with their father, which if you read the comic books or watch Young Justice, that's where Superboy comes from. He was kind of created off his DNA at the Cadmus lab. That would be cool. I thought Henshaw was going to be Cyborg Superman originally, but I like him as Martian Manhunter. Connor, that's right. It was Connor. By the way, I am Tom. We had Greg Wiseman on our show. If you want to hear a good conversation, I got to find what episode it was, but we got him on our show. He's awesome. The Wiseman.
So you fixed it. Good job.
And if you guys binge watch Young Justice on Netflix, they may make a season 3. Is what I'm hearing. So does that.
Very cool. What are we talking about again?
Hold on. I don't know. I'm trying to find
a cool interview that they did.
Greg Wiseman.
Greg Wiseman, who created Gargoyles. Here it is. It's episode 46. So if
we got to get back to doing interviews with cool people again. We haven't.
I mean, what's here?
40. We've been talking to little guys, which is cool. But let's go back to some of the bigger heavy hitters.
You know who would be cool? We could cross pollinate the lounge show and introduce them to Kirk Lando.
We got a couple of things in the pipeline, and I think when TV season kind of starts winding down, we'll have more time for interviews. That's the problem. Doing this weekly and then lining up interviews is a lot of work. So in the summer, I'm going to line up some more interviews and talk to some more people. Gargoyles is great.
One of the things I wanted to talk off record.
Sorry.
Later.
I forgot.
That's fine.
No, we're not going to use all this.
We started the conversation anyway, so I think we did anyway. So I would love for that to happen because I want to kind of redirect the lounge.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Anything we can do to help, let us know. I Am Tom says he's really happy to find the show. He found the site looking for a format for my show. Couldn't find any comic fans. Well, you found the right one. Subscribe to the podcast, and you can see how what our format is loosely.
If he's got a show, does he want to bounce into my square and you guys could jam? Because I could be on the side. It's okay.
I Am Tom. What is your show? Mummy's alive. Oh, that was kind of good. Yeah, I mean, I think otherwise we're probably gonna wrap it up here in a little bit.
Yeah, I gotta go soon.
We got stuff to do.
I mean, I could say hi if Tom wants to jump on.
Yeah, I'll bounce out. You guys can voice.
No, thanks a lot, Anna.
Yeah, thanks, Anna. It's called Odd Shape Panel. Tom, jump in here for a bit and let's get to meet you if you don't mind. That'll be fun. I like meeting people. It's called Odd Shape Panel, and he hasn't launched it yet. But if you have any questions, I have questions. Let's say hi.
Hola.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Can you hear me, though?
We can hear you.
I can hear you, Rug, loud and clear.
Oh, awesome.
Tom, where are you calling in from?
That's everything. Work.
Oh, really?
I'm in upstate New York.
I'm in New York City.
Oh, nice. I was just there 3 days ago.
What do you do for a job?
I work with developmentally disabled people.
Oh. Wow. I've been to Poughkeepsie once.
Yeah.
Now, Anna's also from upstate.
Oh, Anna's from upstate.
Oh,
too.
Nice. I live 20 minutes from the Woodstock site.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. You're close to Woodstock. Right. Nice. So you are starting up. Is it a podcast or is it a video show? What are you starting?
I don't pretty much what. I guess I won't know until it happens, but I'm gonna have a co-host maybe. So at least if no one shows up, I won't be lonely. And then it's pretty much just a discussion show. What's going on that's relevant. I would really like it to be more about personal, interactions. Like, what was the first comic book movie you watched that got you into this, or because it's comics in media, like film and TV. It's a part of this. I don't know if you're familiar with Screen Junkies.
Oh yeah.
A bunch of fans in the SJ Plus community got together and we started doing our own fan fights. And so we're doing it under. You can look at it at This Is Tough, the unofficial fan fights at YouTube. We've done 2 of them so far. I got to win the first one, and my co-host won the second one. So. But really, I'd like people to call in and just a general discussion and what's up.
That's great.
So
Sounds cool.
You want to do it audio only,
Or
or
are you doing it on
No,
Blab?
I because we did the fights on Google Hangouts, and while it's cool, it's not that interactive and stuff. So I just stumbled upon this yesterday, and
Blab all together. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've been a member a day, so
That's
I'm
excellent.
really
You found the right
excited,
place.
yeah.
Dude. It's a really fun platform, and really, just start. You're gonna learn as you go. The show is gonna evolve. It's gonna develop. Like if you go listen to our very first episode, it sounds like shit, and it sounds like I was half asleep. But you can literally hear us learn and evolve the show and get better. And like that's the beauty of this kind of stuff is you could just do it and learn as you do it.
I get worse, I think.
Rug Boy gets worse every show. He's actually
I heard Rug saying that you guys weren't going to use all this. Do you guys record it then edit it?
You can.
Well, yeah, this is what I do. I'm recording all of this to my digital audio recorder. So the audio of this, the main show to where I ended the music, goes into the feed, and then I cut parts of the post show that are interesting, and I'll put that in the feed. Now, this video lives on Blab replays, but then I also upload the whole video to our YouTube channel.
And nobody watches.
That nobody watches, but and the only reason I do that is if Blab goes away someday, all the shows are gone. I want to have the show live on somewhere else.
Now that's what I want.
But you know what, dude? I highly recommend starting with an audio podcast. It's easier to get listeners because you can listen to things while you're doing other things. You don't have to sit
what I'm
down
saying is on the lounge. The lounge is strictly a video website.
Yeah.
So and it has its audience. So what I wanted to do was have some of your video content on the lounge,
sure,
as its own show page.
Yeah.
And I'm aiming it at all this artistic conversation, cultural conversations. And Tom, so kind of what I do is I interview musicians, filmmakers, artists, comic book artists, and so on, because I used to work in that field. And so now I tap into that. And I bring on people that I know that are still working in the field and so on. And a lot of the independent musicians, I kind of just create a support system to show other potentially interested independent musicians on how people are doing it. Since they were a child to what they're growing into and how they can have different forms of income and all that type of stuff.
I mean, I still think the best.
Sorry.
What was that?
I said I'm also a musician.
Oh, that's great.
Very cool.
I think I like the best strategy, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Collider, the website Collider. They do this really well. Like you want the video, you want the YouTube channel, and then take the audio and make a podcast feed. It doesn't hurt.
Not a bad idea.
Because now you have two different, might as well. You got people listening, and sometimes they'll come over when they have time to watch. So other times with the listening, they can listen to it whenever they want. So Collider does a daily show. TV talk, movie talk, heroes, but they're all podcasts also. So you can watch them, or what I do, I listen to podcasts all day while I'm working. I can listen to the show, and I don't have to be there and watch and only do one thing. But for best exposure, you want to hit both things. Just you have the audio. All you got to do is strip the audio out, put it in a
right. No, I agree. I thought about doing that. I have not done that yet, but I have been in conversations with a major host of podcasts in terms of me offering that as a white label service.
That's good too. Yeah.
So that way we can have a lot of different podcasters on the website, but that's a whole other conversation also.
And Tom, dude, this Blab, you got podcasters coming on to Blab and making shows. You got people starting on Blab and making podcasts going the other way. Like anything, there's no rules. Anything, you can do whatever you want. Anything is possible.
Chaos is a ladder.
Yeah.
Oh, how are you guys excited about Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I'm ready to watch it. I want to see the Khaleesi. Even though I don't really care about the Khaleesi anymore, actually. But I just like to say Khaleesi. Like the way it sounds. Khaleesi!
It's become a very popular baby name.
Oh, no. You have a generation of
That's actually an Italian last name, by the way.
Oh, it is?
Khaleesi.
It makes
yeah. I know a guy named Nick Khaleesi.
Nick Khaleesi. With a C, though, not a K.
Yeah. Well, no, with a C.
I'm a bad nerd. I have not watched the Game of Thrones, man. I just watched so many things.
If you start watching that,
I never got into it. I just watched so many fucking things. Like it is. I don't know what people.
That's why I have so much fatigue with these shows, because they've become I see the formula now in all the okay, let's say when Arrow came out, it was the only one on TV.
Right.
So it didn't bother me. I would watch it, but then all of a sudden the Flash comes on, same formula. Then the other show comes on, same formula. And all three shows are running on the same formula.
Yeah.
CW was just taking the Arrow formula and using it from Smallville. It's been the same formula for years.
Yeah.
And
now you got all these other things that are following the same formula. And I feel like that I'm watching like The Walking Dead. Now I gotta watch that repackaged shit. So it's like there's too much redundant shit, and I'm like starting to get fatigued on it. So
it's true.
Like, to be honest, like if I wasn't doing the show, I'd probably still be watching it, but I wouldn't be watching it every week. I'd binge watch it.
Right.
Like if I got like a week off or something, or if I like had a day off, I would watch like 6 episodes.
We're making poor Rug Boy work his felty brain too hard.
Yeah.
Cotton can't take it. Look, Rug's
I can't remember half the shit that I watch.
Can I just tell you, are you watching Gotham? Can I just tell you one thing about Gotham? Whatever we think, this fucking show, it moves. So many things happen every episode.
Yeah.
Like, it's totally a mess, but it's entertaining, dude. Like, compared to Fear the Walking Dead, which is really slow.
It's not formulaic.
It's not
it following the same
stop
formula.
for a second. Like, they had a whole episode where Gordon is in jail for weeks and gets busted out. Like, in one episode, which I kind of appreciate that. They didn't drag it out.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
Or ignore the fact he was in it. It wasn't just like he went through the doors and then came back out.
Right. They actually, Penguin goes from being crazy to being rehabilitated to fucking coming back and snapping again.
Oh, that was so good, though, with Pee-wee.
I'm so glad he killed that family. I was so mad at them. I was like, you guys are pricks. Fucking kill them.
I thought he was making them eat the dog, and then I realized
it was
like...
That was great, dude. He kills the kid, feeds him to the mom, and then fucking stabs
She's more
the mom.
tender.
Holy shit.
Oh,
I was like,
man.
that show is so weird because it could be campy, over the top, and then seriously violent and disturbing.
Yeah.
Within a breath of each other. It's fucking
That's
nuts.
true. It is a fucking crazy show. I'll tell you
crazy.
that.
It catches so much shit, though. I don't get it. Oh, I don't know.
No, you can swear. Well, the reason it catches shit is because
penis.
The reason it catches shit is because the fucking hardcore comic book fans want it to be like their Batman, and they're just doing their own fucking. They're changing everything. But
they're Zack Snydering it. They're just doing whatever the fuck they want.
They're like year one Gordoning it. Like there was never a Batman story; it was a Gotham story. Like I don't.
Yeah, I mean, and
it would have been.
Well, it's because of all the villains are Batman villains.
But Tom, look, this is the problem I have is: did Batman get created because the villains were around, or were the villains created because Batman emerged? Like,
I think it's better if Batman is the creator, is the impetus, is the inspiration.
They flipped it.
Ultimately, all of the Rogues Gallery are compliments of Batman's psyche. So the Riddler's
that's a good read.
Narcissism, the Scarecrow's need to strike fear into people, the duality of Two-Face. If you notice, all the villains are disfigured in some way.
Yep.
So to have them without Batman, I can see your point.
Right, it doesn't make sense.
But as far as the lore, like some of the best episodes of Gotham were some of the original villains. And some of the rise to fame, like a Penguin backstory villain is because he didn't just show up. You know what I mean? Like Cobblepot's an old Gotham name.
I love what they're doing with that character. And then they're gonna.
Oh, he's amazing.
Dude, they're gonna.
Do you know how he walks like that?
Well, how?
He puts a bottle cap in his shoe, and then he just has to adjust.
He's like, this hurts. Listen, they're bringing back fucking Theo Galavan as Azrael. They're gonna bring back Fish Mooney. They're just gonna reanimate.
Oh yeah, that's it.
You've seen them in tanks already.
Yeah, they're all in the fucking tank.
Fish included.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And the Joker, they create the Joker from that kid.
I like their adaptation of the Joker. That it's more of a because
an entity.
In Zack Snyder's run, they introduced an idea that the Joker was immortal.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the idea that
I hate that idea.
That there's always been
no
a Joker.
I agree with you, Rugg. I don't like the immortal, but the idea that it's a constant chaotic threat is kind of cool.
I think that my opinion of the Joker is that Batman creates the Joker. All right, Batman's presence, this kind of thing that's supposed to scare criminals, that they're superstitious. They've never seen anything like Batman before. All right, they have never. So to have all of these unrealistic, crazy, fanciful things around before Batman is retarded. So now Batman comes into the scene, and now the criminal element is at first scared shitless, and then rebels against Batman by coming up with their own crazy costumed villains. And the Joker is a direct response to Batman. The Joker is whatever Batman's trying to organize and put right, he's going to make it chaotic again. That's going to be his job. His job is to focus on Batman. He doesn't really have any kind of aspirations of being wealthy or anything. He just wants to fuck with Batman. That's his.
You're completely right.
Because it's his fault. He's this Batman's fault. He's the Joker. Batman needs to create the Joker. That's the best bit about it.
Yeah. Well, that's why they'll never say that it's the Joker. They'll just say that it's Laughing or Maniacs or whatever. But oh damn, what was I gonna say? No, Joker definitely needs Batman the same way Moriarty needs Sherlock. Yeah, they're bored without him. Yeah. You could see it in The Dark Knight Returns. The moment Batman comes out of retirement, like Joker is like lobotomized. Well, not he's catatonic, and then all of a sudden you see Batman on the news, and he's boom back.
He lights up. Yeah.
That's
so no, I agree with you.
That's why Frank Miller understood that.
Oh yeah. But like I was saying with Gotham, like the original villains, like the balloon guy and like the Gotham Goat Man or whatever the hell that was.
That was a little silly. I don't know what that was. Plus, they put Selena Kyle there at the murder of his parents. I don't like that.
Selena Kyle's face confuses me. She looks like a little girl and a 40-year-old woman at the same time.
Yes. She looks like really mature, but also like a teenager.
Also, they've done some things where I'm like, what happened? Like, because like I thought the Thomas Elliot like introduction was really cool.
That was his buddy, the bully buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that he becomes Hush later, and I was just like, oh, he just punched Hush in the face with a watch hand.
Yeah.
Like,
no, they're just teasing. They give you little bits and pieces. What really bothers me is like they don't know what era it's set on. And they do this on purpose, and
that is weird because sometimes it feels like a period piece.
They have flip phones, they have cell phones, yet nobody has a fucking computer, and they got old-timey flashbulb cameras. But then in the cave that Bruce finds, there's a computer. Like, there's a VHS recorder. It's all over the fucking place. Why does this take place?
You know what? But sometimes I like that because then you can't date it necessarily. Because like, think about Napoleon Dynamite. Do you have any idea when that's set?
No, that's true.
Because it's all random. Like the internet exists,
but it's like 70s also at the same time. Yeah. No, it makes it timeless. I feel like it's really a mash of like the 66 Batman universe, Tim Burton Batman universe, and Joel Schumacher all like squished together.
It's kind of a crazy thing. See, at least you could say it's creative. It is creative. It's
creative. It's entertaining. We were talking about Gotham for like a first season, but then we dropped it because because every episode I'd be like, what the fuck, Gotham? What are you doing?
Yeah.
But it is entertaining, dude. I kind of love watching it now.
I have a friend who she is the most good-hearted person in the world, and she started watching Gotham, and she's like, "Oh, I don't like that show. The cops are just all corrupt." And I'm like, "It's Gotham."
But like Jim Gordon is the most not Jim Gordon like in the whole show. But it's not like what Gordon would do. Like he's
did you watch Year One though?
I did watch the first season.
No. Like
Year One,
Batman Year One. Like the way his general attitude when he first gets in there is pretty spot on. He was a troublemaker,
but he never took. But they did the same thing. He never took the bribe. He never wanted to be that guy.
He never killed because that was a huge Joker thing. Because the whole killing joke was everyone has a bad day and he tries to drive. So that's
and that's the beauty of Batman Joker. They're two sides of the same coin. Batman is one day away from fucking being just like the Joker. Like he's just as psychotic as the Joker is. What do you think about in Justice League 50? They're gonna reveal his name, which is completely unnecessary. Who cares? I don't want to know what his name is.
I mean, if they tell me it's Jack Napier, I'll be okay with it because that's already an established Joker. But I feel like it's gonna be like Joseph Kern or something dumb like that.
But remember, they told him, the guy whispered the name and he knows the name. And he's like, oh, no, not him.
Joe Chill.
Joe. Well, he tells him Joe Chill did kill his parents, and then he tells him the name of
yeah.
the Joker in this bet in the God chair or whatever. But
Well, I mean, I don't know how seriously to take anything coming
Alfred
out right
did
now because everyone's. That was an Elseworld comic where Alfred did become the Joker just to keep Batman busy.
oh, that's great.
Oh yeah. What I'm concerned about is I'm hearing a lot of talk through the grapevine that they're going to relaunch DC again to go along with the cinematic universe.
They got a rebirth coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 2 years, so it's gotta.
You got every couple of years, they're like, "Fuck it, scrap it all, start over." We don't know what we're doing.
We're not even going to attach Crisis to it. We're just going to do it.
Jesus, we have iconic characters, but we don't know how to sell this to people, so we're just going to restart everything every couple of years. Really? You lose me.
I am so scared about Suicide Squad. They are hurting my soul.
The movie? You don't like the movie?
Oh yeah, it looks. I will give credit to the trailer editor. He is really good.
Yes.
But have you watched the video without any audio in it? It looks like a jumble pile of mess. Yeah, you could if you just watch it with the music stripped off of it. It's just.
What is this?
I think it's going to be a terrible movie.
Oh yeah. My friends refer to pooping as a killer croc now because of how that character looks.
Civil War is going to be a great movie.
Yeah, Civil War.
Oh yeah, no.
And it's going to embarrass.
It's
going to embarrass DC so much.
I think Suicide Squad will have a better story.
I'm not surprised.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there'd be a shakeup at DC where they get rid of the CEO.
Didio's got to go. Sorry.
And get Zack Snyder off all that
Do you
shit.
think they're going to backtrack this far in, though? How much money they've spent?
No, they're going to dig
guess.
their heels in, I think. And then
they'll dig their heels in.
They're all in now.
Better
Oh,
writers.
You know what confuses me? How come Marvel, which is owned by Disney, their animated products do not stand up to DC's animated products?
Agreed.
Yeah.
DC
because
animated
they don't have to tap that well right now. They're making so much money with the movies, they don't even have to.
But they've definitely put out movies that are poorly animated since being owned. Like that Punisher Black Widow anime-looking movie was garbage.
Yeah, but Disney didn't make that. But
I'm saying why not use? They have plenty of artists.
Yeah.
Well, they're focusing on the
hold on.
TV though. They got that Ultimate Spider-Man and the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is decent, but it's really kiddie, but it's decent.
Right, and that's the thing. Marvel
concentrating on TV
is concentrating on all their live action stuff. They don't want to put money and budget towards the animation stuff, and their strategy is catering to the kids in respect to the animation stuff. DC is suffering in two different ways. One, their strategy with the DC comic movies is they want to be the opposite of what Marvel is doing, which is having a comedic flair to most of their right. So they want to have a more serious tone. They want their characters. The problem with that is they don't understand that the psyche of the human mind of watching somebody in their underwear running around beating up stuff cannot be taken seriously. So for Marvel, they know how to just rightly place that comedic punch.
They got the tone down.
And you enjoy it. Yeah. You enjoy it, and you don't try to make it like, well, this is what it would be in real life.
DC took a wrong step in the direction right from the start. You know what I mean? With Man of Steel, like the S on his chest does not stand for destruction of Metropolis. Yeah, it stands for hope. And there was not a moment of sunshine, and the most sunshine came through that Jesus allegory behind him in the church.
Ugh.
Like
heavy-handed. It stands for I hope I don't get crushed by these fucking buildings you're dropping, you asshole. That's what the S stands for.
Damn, I will say at least in Batman vs Superman, they're like, let's go to the abandoned docks.
Yeah, they had to make it a point to say that. No, I can't wait for the Killing Joke, dude. That finally they're doing an R-rated
animation.
Yeah, sure, it's gonna be.
Well, the thing is,
Hamill and Conroy back there,
and Bruce Timm animating and in charge of it.
Yeah,
great.
See,
even their Death of Superman cartoon was fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, DC is usually always on point.
They're animated.
But see, the thing about the Suicide Squad movie though is I'm pretty sure it's just going to be Assault on Arkham.
That was like.
Yeah, I can watch Arkham again.
There'll be Batman in it though. Just
let me
Batman was an assault.
I just want to get this in real quick. Is that there's a lot of people that are saying kind of same things that that you guys are saying, but I don't think the problem is a serious tone. I just think that you can have, like, if you watch the DC animated movies, they're all serious tones and they all work.
Yeah.
It's just that they never bring that sensibility to their movies because they have Zack Snyder and whoever's producing this shit not going to the material. Like, the people who animate the DC animated movies, they know the characters. They know something. They know the essence of it. And it's nothing to do with serious tone. People are like, oh, it's too dark and gritty. You're like, yeah, okay. It could use a little bit more of like a couple of snide remarks and some humor to, like, you know, for a little bit of a comedic break. It could use that, but it's essentially not where they're going wrong. They're going wrong with not respecting the character and the source material and not telling stories that were actually easy to follow or make sense.
Which is why I think I'm excited for Suicide Squad, because it's really the first true test of them trying to make this universe, because it does not have Snyder or Goyer anywhere near it.
And
That's true.
Nobody gives a shit about most of the characters except for the Joker.
And Batman. Shove Batman.
That's not true. I am totally offended by this Harley Quinn.
Oh, really?
You know what Bruce Timm said about? First off, Margot Robbie picked this costume. I grew up with my introduction was with everybody's introduction, which is the animated series, which was her first
costume. Yes.
Oh yeah, my girlfriend cosplays at it. That's the reason why I date her. That's not true.
Geek boomer.
But yeah, literally, they asked Bruce Timm what they thought about the costume design, and they were just humbly said it was garbage. So
I heard there's like an Easter egg in that scene where she's changing, like sticking out of the briefcase. You kind of see like a jester costume in there. That's what.
Oh, when she changes into that, then maybe maybe we'll see.
I'm sorry.
No,
like the
I mean
Wolverine hat in the movie.
Yeah.
They never showed it though, right?
Yeah, no.
Isn't that was like a deleted scene
version
on the DVD or something? That would have been cool. Though that movie was garbage too. The Wolverine made me so disappointed.
No, that's
but like, yeah, why? Okay, so he gets shot in the back with all these arrow ropes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and he has razor claws.
Just cut him off. What are you doing?
And that Silver Samurai was just, oh my god.
Look, the only thing, maybe they want to make Wolverine 3 and they want to be R-rated, and I kind of feel like this is the one character that should be R-rated, because when you hold back his viciousness for the PG-13, you lose a lot of Wolverine.
No, that's true. It's kind of, I feel like it's kind of late in the game to be like, how come you weren't doing this the whole time?
And then
there's a lot of inconsistencies with Wolverine.
They got one last
with, like,
chance.
His weight and his his
think
factor's always off.
I wonder if
I would love. Sorry.
No, I wonder if he's going to be in Apocalypse. Does anybody know if he's in X-Men Apocalypse at all?
I haven't heard.
He's Wolverine.
Yeah.
Because isn't he
supposed to be one of the Four Horsemen?
No.
Hey,
Are you
listen.
sure?
I'm gonna punch out, guys.
Okay.
It was good
Although that
meeting
would
you
be
guys.
cool because he actually was
Tom.
a
Good
horseman.
seeing you.
It was nice meeting you, Rug.
All right, I'll
Take
see
care,
you guys
Rug.
later. Okay,
Bye,
Ron.
Rug boy. See you later.
Right.
Rugs, we'll see you
Good
tomorrow.
night.
Tomorrow afternoon, we got a thing, remember.
Okie dokie.
Okay. And no, we're going to wrap this up a little bit, but I just want to say the Horsemen are Storm, Magneto, Archangel, and who's the fourth one? Psylocke.
Yeah, which none makes sense.
Yeah, well, yeah. At least you got Storm with the Mohawk.
Angel was one of the horsemen.
Oh no, Angel, of course.
Angel
but
was one
the
of those.
the other ones, Pestilence and Famine, actually had powers that represented that.
Right.
And then
Psylocke looks amazing though, dude. She looks like
oh yeah,
she's
well
right
Olivia
out of
Munn
the-
usually
she does.
does look amazing. So
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what you put her in, she's gonna look amazing.
she is a beast, though. All of that fight choreography and stuff is
That's all
her.
her?
If you ever seen her do, oh yeah, if you ever see her just display martial arts, she's insane. She does Chun-Li's kick across the stage.
Oh shit, she's into that shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, she's good.
Perfect for the role. I'm kind of excited for this movie. But I feel like nobody's really talking about it. There's like no buzz. There's no
You
excitement.
know what's weird? I almost cried watching the trailer in the theater. We went to go see Batman vs Superman, and I'm watching this, and I can't. Beautiful World. I think it was Coldplay, like a weird version of that's in the trailer, and I was just blown away.
I think it's gonna be really. I hope it's gonna be.
It
Really
looks
good.
epic, dude. It looks finally like epic disaster. It shows some big
I'm
scale
really
shit.
excited about Sophie Turner from. Well, you don't know her work from Game of Thrones, but she's a remarkable young woman, and she's playing
playing?
Jean Grey in this.
She's playing
Jean Grey.
Awesome. Yeah.
Who needs redemption in the movie universe.
No, I like that they're bringing in younger members of these older cast members so we can.
The Cyclops looks on point too.
Yep. Nightcrawler looks cool, dude. They all look. There's a ton of people in this.
I don't know. It's weird because I know I might need nitpicking, but when someone goes and puts an explanation for something in the film and then ignores it later, they really ignore. Like, okay, so you know Alan Cummings, Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
So he said that all of the markings on there, he mutilated into himself for every one of his sins.
Right.
But if you go and you look at this young character in Age of Apocalypse, he already has all those markings. So does that mean that like 11-year-old Nightcrawler was like going nuts?
He started early.
I guess.
He's a
Before he
cutter.
even understood. Yeah.
He was listening to Morrissey and all emo. He's a cutter. But didn't they erase all those movies, or they just erased the third movie? That happened in the second.
Yeah, but
movie.
I mean, if you don't erase the characters. The characters clearly still exists.
It's the same character.
Yeah.
I mean, look what they did to fucking.
I would use that
Deadpool,
argument
that
if he
other
didn't
fucking
have
movie.
them.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to the reset, I really hope they do a correct Phoenix Saga.
Oh, me
They
too.
were talking about that. That would be great. Yeah. But then you got to get like the Shi'ar. You got to get aliens involved.
But that's fine because they had Guardians of the Galaxy. They kind of already started.
But that's
but
that's
Fox.
a different universe. Yeah, that's not Fox Marvel.
But they're
Marvel
getting
Marvel.
lenient. They're
Disney
getting
Marvel.
so much more lenient with that. You know, the Hell character was in Deadpool.
The
That thing that
helicarrier
fell,
without
that was
name.
a
Yeah,
helicarrier.
they just couldn't call it that. And
That's why the girl-
Deadpool really wants.
Hydra Bob. That was Hydra Bob, but they couldn't call him Hydra Bob.
Hydra Bob
because
was in
they
there,
can't say
yeah.
Hydra. Yeah. I want to see
Um,
Deadpool more in these movies. I want to see him in a PG-13 movie where he tries to swear and it gets bleeped and he's just frustrated and doesn't understand
Yeah,
what's
and he
going
just
on.
keeps doing it.
He's like, "What the? I can't. This is frustrating, guys." Like,
Yeah, the cop
Or
is
he-
so funny.
he gets one fuck and he has to use it very judiciously. He's got to find the right moment to say it.
Or
one
that's the only reason he shows up is to take the movie's fuck line.
That's why.
That'd be
That's
amazing.
what Wolverine's role was. Wolverine would show up just to be like, "Fuck off," and then walk off screen. That was what
Oh,
happened in First Class. That's good shit, man. Tom, you are a nerd, similar to us. I'm so glad we met you. Follow. We're here
Yes,
every week.
glad I met you.
Love to see you back. Follow, listen to the podcast. If you need any advice on anything, you can email us, show@jockandnerd.com. Everything's on the website at jockandnerd.com.
All right.
But Tom's
I'll talk to you
all right,
soon.
dude. You know your stuff, and I think just start your show. You'll have fun. It'll evolve. You'll figure it out.
And now, since you're second down, Blab, there is a warning.
Uh-oh.
The warning is after your third week, your eyeballs will slip out of their sockets
Stay away
I'm
from
used
Mark
to that.
Shkreli.
because you probably won't sleep for days.
I work overnights.
Right. Well, in the daytime, too.
It's addictive, is what
No,
he's very.
not my days.
It's
very-
addicting.
It's addicting. This one dude,
you'll be
they were
here.
doing like
All right.
36-hour shows. People are doing just
Totally.
shows that last forever. Like they'll keep it going for hours and hours and hours. I mean,
That's crazy.
we came on air to do like an hour and a half show. I've now been recording for 4 hours, which is why I have to run.
Oh,
this
wow.
Imran,
Yeah, I get you.
Did you see my news?
No.
They're announcing a new Doctor Who companion tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah, have
really?
you seen pictures? She's beautiful.
And her name is
It's like-
R2D2.
No. I believe she's a Muslim actress. Or,
Oh.
yeah. Muslim. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the
So she
political
always
correct.
is she covered and everything?
She's in a
No,
hijab.
she has a nice
Oh,
shawl. Yeah. It's not like completely, just a
No,
respectful.
they haven't showed anybody yet. They've shown a pair of shoes.
Oh, well, $5 says that's who it is. Because I may have seen
Ooh.
something that other people have
Betting
not.
on Blab.
You heard it here first, unless I'm lying to you.
So if
gonna
you have
be
a
a
foot fetish,
beautiful-
everyone, definitely check out the new picture of Doctor Who's companion. It'll get you
There's
all.
another chat room for that.
There's a chat room for everything. This is kind of like the chat roulette, of this.
No, it's so much better because I can control what's going on.
And less dick pics.
Chat roulette is just, yeah, exactly. Just wading through a pool of dicks.
Now you see those hands.
Yes, props.
Okay.
Yes.
In the
Trust
old
me.
days of labs, it was to prove that you weren't doing anything with them.
Let me see.
Oh, really?
They used to be called feels.
Feel.
Yeah, they were called
Hilarious.
All right, guys, look.
Or the early days of Blabs.
While everyone's here, I'm going to close the show out, play some music, wave bye. Thanks for watching
Bye.
Talking Nerd Podcast.
Odd-shaped panel.
Fantastic.
Bro, do you even podcast?
Oh, shit. Go stroke a barbell.
Talking Nerd.